and sent. That should be in your business email. And, you know, I'm just hoping to make both of you laugh.
Yep, I'm seeing it.
Let me just take a quick look. Your voice is not coming through. Our voices are.
Yes, that was a nice little opening that didn't work because, yay. Yeah. Okay. As I was explaining, I was having trouble with OBS. As you can still tell, I'm still having trouble with OBS. It seems to be working now. Hopefully I'm able to be heard at this point. Let me ask the chat. Can you hear me?
Well, you're gonna hate this, Art, but it's not very nice audio, and your webcam is choppy as shit.
Okay. Huh. It's not good audio. Alright, let's see what I can do about that. Well, it's not on that end. We're just gonna have to deal with it. I don't know why it's causing the problems it's causing. But thank you all for coming. I'm sorry this kind of went very crazy. Such is life. It says the stream is running excellently. We'll see how well that works. If the main stream is still all bad, maybe I'll have to do a full reboot or something.
Maybe that's just on my end. I don't know. I'll reset my iPad and maybe have someone else and looks.
His video is choppy on my screen too.
How's the audio though?
You were breaking in and out as well, Jordan, when you were talking, but you were smooth on TeamSpeak. So yeah, it's a little choppy.
It's probably because I have two streams running at the same time. So, all right. Let me see if I can kill this. All right, I'm gonna assume it's. So that's not that one. It's not that one. So I will remove that. All right, did that help any?
That's you, Ernest. I'm still rebooting my iPad.
I know I have you guys on mute because I'm listening to this. Just hold on.
All right. I mean, realistically, I should have very good bandwidth into this. I have it all wired at this point, etc. All right, well, let's try sync on network. Let's see if that helps.
Yeah, it's a lot better. Do you have a fan blowing? I keep hearing some like moving background noise, but that could have been. It got quieter once you canceled the second stream, or whatever you did.
Yeah, it was a double whammy kind of situation.
But it sounds a lot better.
All right.
Webcam's a little jumpy, but the webcam's not the most important thing in the world.
No.
The audio's a lot smoother.
That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, I'm gonna lock it down to make sure it's all being nice here.
Anyway, for those watching, I am watching the chat.
Yes, actually, believe it or not, so am I. For once.
We can both miss it.
Yeah. Although, admittedly, I'm going to be paying more attention to other things. Okay. So, sorry for the delay. We are doing the multiplayer test number 12. And this is mostly trying to correct some of the things that we came up with last time. We did not have as much chance to do so. We were actually doing a public demo release that should be available either tonight or tomorrow. It won't be the full thing that you're seeing on the live stream, but it definitely is to get your feet wet a little bit. There is a flight tutorial, and there is which we're going to be updating, of course. And there's a couple single player modes just to fly around and shoot things. And we'll probably go over that today a little bit. Most of the day is going over some things that weren't working last time, so we can actually try to do what we were hoping to do last time. So one of those things is we were having network issues, in the sense that once the game started, while you can rejoin if you crash or were already there, the game would let people still log in even if they weren't part of that original game. And what that showed was a series of problems because once you join in afterwards, the game doesn't know where to put you. We're actually going to get around that by actually, within the game, there's an ability to add AI for various things, whether being a mayor or an admiral, that kind of thing. But we're going to have an AI that's going to be human. And at that point, we're going to allow people to join in a game that's already been started. And at least at that point, we'll know where to put the new human player. So without further ado on that, if people have their version of it, let's bring it up. And I want to do the first test of seeing whether or not if people can get in when they're not supposed to get in.
So you're going to see if your wall can stand up to the Mongols.
Yes, that was a thing. Because right now, the way it was, you saw what happened last time, it just kept crashing.
Yep.
And that was not pretty and happy, and I was not happy, and yay. So it definitely is a thing. Oh, I should probably change OBS so that it actually is going to the game. Go figure on that. Alright, and we want this. Yes, okay. There we go. Multiplayer. Host. Now, people might wonder why this is all black. The game is actually set so that it will let you into the game without all the graphics being loaded. Since the graphics come in on their own on a separate processor, it is running in the background to bring in the rest of it. I mean, to decode it. And that's why you saw everything sort of drop in like that. So we're going to actually have an option whether or not if you want to have everything loaded before you proceed, but you might wait twice the amount of time or 3 times the amount of time, or you can do the option which I just saw, which was people coming in long before the graphics are there, but you can still see parts of it enough to get in, depending on how patient you are. Considering some people don't like to wait for opening intros of games, you get the choice. You can turn the option on, you can turn the option off. Personal preference. That's fine. So without further ado, if you guys could join in, that would be great. Actually, I actually have like a couple of people join in. So who wants to be the victims and who wants to be the crashers?
Dibs on Mongol.
Okay, so you want to be a crasher. Who wants to be come in and
I'll join in.
All right, Ernest, join in, please. So Matt, you're going to be a Mongol?
Apparently.
Okay, that's fine. So Ernest, whenever you're ready.
I'm
Oh.
currently crashing the desktop right now, so hold on a second.
Yeah, there's actually a thing here. Actually, I want to show this to you on the live stream because it's a thing. So I don't think this will work. I think this will crash, to be honest. Oh, it did work. Okay, so here's the problem. You see all this? Yeah, Rank Warmaster changed its server, as Ernest well knows. So you're going to need to go into, when you go into the join, you need to go to click on Add Server. The default, where it says game.rankwarmaster.com, is now the default. Just click OK. That's legit now. That's the place you want to go. All right?
All right. That's why I couldn't get in.
That's why you couldn't get in. That's why no one else could get in. And so, yeah.
I just remembered, yes, that www no longer goes to where it used to go.
No, different server, different IP address now. That's all. Yeah. Okay, let's see what this now does to me. Let's throw this down here.
Well, it's.
All right,
Also,
Paul's
the-
in. He went we, and I don't see him in the list. So yeah, this is
Paul's
all.
on my list. I can see Paul. I'm in there as well.
All right, the server's definitely hosed. All right, let me go out and come back in.
All right.
I know generally it didn't like going out and in, out and in, out and in. It's just one of those things to kind of shore up. But because it's alpha, call it what it is. It's alpha. We're trying to get the main game work rather than, prevent the hordes. This is the first time we're doing the horde protection. Only because it became necessary. Is Adam around actually?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you there. Hey, I was unaware. Okay, so, all right, host is up. So those want to be the legitimate ones can come in. Those want to be the horrible hordes. That's fine too. If you all want to be horrible hordes, that's actually a good test actually, because I only tested against one horrible horde before.
Okay.
So if it's just myself and Ernest, that's fine. Myself has to be the host, of course. All right, Ernest, could you grab? There you go. Now we're gonna mark ourselves ready. I'll mark you ready because I don't feel like waiting, and we'll go in.
Hold on. I'm still coming.
Right,
That's
you're gonna
good.
be a horde. Okay, great. So everybody try to join in.
Okay.
Remember, it's for the horde.
Hopping in.
All right, I see Ernest firing.
If they get in, I will not let them take my builder bots.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If we get in, delete Ernest.
Something like that. I assume you see me in front of you, or
Yep.
I'm having a problem where I'm not able to progress beyond the server select screen.
now do you have game.rankwarmaster.com? You updated the server, right?
Yeah, it's right there. It's in the list.
Okay.
Yep, I hit connect and I see a brief flash of
Yeah.
the lobby, and nothing.
Yeah, and I'm back to the server select screen. So yeah, that's the same
Excellent.
problem I'm having.
It's not a
So,
problem, Paul, it's
Ernest,
what we're testing.
while they're
Oh.
testing, could you exit the game
Me.
and
Yep.
then see if you can rejoin?
We'll
Okay.
go.
Meanwhile, the AI is quite happily building its city, as you can see off in the distance.
All right.
One
Reload.
slight note, Art. I have to double click on connect to get it to do anything.
Hmm.
A little
Yeah,
Yeah, I
once you do it
noticed
the
that,
first time, it's not resetting. We know it's a problem. It's just like, okay, one more thing on the list.
I'm not able to connect to game.rankwarmaster.com.
Good. Ernest, are you able to connect?
I'm coming back in. Give me a moment.
All
I had to
right.
reload the game. So.
Are you in? We can't tell.
Woohoo! I can make a comment on that, but there you go.
Back in the game.
You're back in the game. You see me buzzing around,
Yep, you're flying around. Builder bot has been destroyed.
and I'm about to shoot you.
It was a nice fly through too, by the way.
Yeah, it was actually.
As the builder bot exploded, your ship just went right through the fireball. It's pretty nice.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. So,
Same issue as before.
Seems pretty secure.
that's pretty secure. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now we won't have to worry about like things going boom for no particular reason.
But I also like how it doesn't crash my game, it just doesn't let me in.
Now here's the interesting thing. Stay there. Ernest, I'm going to exit the server,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to bring it back up again. And without everybody else rebooting, I want to see if you can join in without any ill problems.
Okay.
I mean, once the server's back up.
It should auto kick me, right? Because it has not yet.
Well, it'll auto kick them, but I mean, right now I'm not even here. That's
Oh,
not
that's
really a
what I'm saying. I
test.
haven't been kicked out of the server yet. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you should kick yourself out of the server.
Oh, there it goes. It's kicking me out now.
Okay. So I want to see if they can join the lobby screen, and honestly, Ernest, I want to see if you can join the lobby screen. All right, so I'm up.
I'm still crashing the desktop. It'll take a minute.
All right,
So should I be trying, or do I want to wait for Ernest?
come on in.
Cool, I'm in. My name is changed again, of course.
Did you delete the config again?
Yes. So
Ah.
I've been trying to get the hyperthreading to work.
Did it?
No.
Okay. Did you check the log? All right, we're getting a lot of weird feedback. All right, Ernest, you sound like you're underwater.
I'm not even.
You're
Should be
transmitting. I'm looking at the TeamSpeak thing. You're
Alright.
constantly transmitting, and that's where we're getting the gurgles.
I'll fix that. Maybe turn up my speech thing.
There you go. Okay. Well, I actually want to do that one. Sorry, everybody's gonna have to pick a different ship. Jordan the map, please.
Okay.
There's Paul.
Okay, cool. Okay, I was able to get in this time.
Well, that's the idea. Now everybody didn't have to exit the game, correct? They were able to just come right in.
I had been like quitting and reloading, so
Well, yeah, I didn't. Yeah. All right. Does anybody else wish to be the Warmaster?
I'll take the Warmaster, get a roll again.
All right, I'll bring myself Admiral. You should be able to do it now. Yep, there you go. Sorry, that's my bad. All right, you ready? We should go in. Maybe. Just thinking about it.
I'm in.
I'm not in. I'm the server.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I crashed, but it's my fault. I know what I did wrong.
What did you do wrong?
I tapped the Omni ball, and so the thing opened up, and in trying to get it to close back up, I fucking left.
Ah.
For some reason
Okay.
I have.
And then, it doesn't like it when you try to rejoin back in.
For some reason I have. I'm going forward at 125 feet per second, but I can't actually change my velocity using the keys I'm used to.
Do you have your joystick hooked up?
Damn it. Nope.
Or
But I do have my gamepad. Maybe that's it.
this is the gamepad. It's reading one of the axes. You'd have to either configure the gamepad to the configuration file, or it's going to think that your one joystick is the accelerator and it's not.
Yeah. All right. That's fixed.
Okay. Sorry about that. So, Jordan, you should be able to join in because it recognized you.
Yeah.
Are you
We'll see
actually
in a sec. I'm just waiting for my graphics to finish loading.
okay? Because it recognized you from before. It's just if you've
Yeah.
never connected it. So that's interesting. If you crashed before you entered the game, does
What
it
will
work?
it do?
What will it do? That's a good
I mean, a
question.
simple test is there a ship there labeled owned by Jordan?
That's a good question.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Well, there you go. Then I'm in.
And there you are.
Just not there yet.
There you go. I'll put myself right in front of you. So, we found a couple interesting bugs earlier today. One was if you try to research something and you try to cancel somebody else's research, it causes a problem. Since we only found it out earlier today, it's not fixed. So if Jordan's going to be the designated researcher, let him do it. Kind of thing. Although we can always load an older save game. Hello, do you see me right in front of you?
Yep, I sure do. I just got in.
All right, yes, because I see you.
Where's
moving.
our builder bot?
Well, if Ernest hasn't killed it yet, it should be right to our
No,
left.
I left it alone.
Okay, fair enough. So, the good news is the stopping the horrible horde does work, which is nice. Ideally, it actually does send a message into your log saying there are no open slots, but I didn't want to pause the game for everybody to look in their log file. Part of the thing was with everybody hammering the system, I wanted to see if it was trying to overload the amount of sockets the game will accept, and I'll check the thing later. But for the most part, it looks like it's pretty much okay. The next point is Jordan. Remember how we were trying to desperately transfer stuff between people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, code didn't exist for that. It wasn't there. We thought it wasn't. It is there now, as of this morning.
Okay.
So as you build the city and as people get stuff, we should actually be able to transfer stuff back and forth, even now. The other thing that didn't work before but should work now is when you're in the nav screen, you should be able to order yourself as well as technically as others, because we're both in the same thing. Now, a player will ignore it, but an AI won't. So as an example to that, I will go into my nav screen, and I will find myself, which is right here.
Quick reminder: I want to avoid as much as possible building on those, triangle lines that I see when I hit / right?
Something like that, yes. So if you notice, now, does everybody see my ship moving? From their perspective?
Let me switch the nav screen.
Yes, you are moving. From
All
our
right.
perspective.
I ordered my ship to move from the nav screen, not because I'm controlling my ship. The AI is controlling my ship. And that's kind of the point. Is that the other thing is, I'm not sure if you noticed, Jordan, when you use the different commands and keys, a message will pop up saying what you just did.
I hadn't noticed yet because I was doing my first bit of building on the flight sim screen. We'll see in a sec.
Oh, so you're not doing the nav screen yet.
I will be doing the nav screen soon.
Well, please do.
But first, we gotta do some research.
You can get to the research from the nav screen now.
I can.
Yes, you
I
can.
am. I have.
Ooh, Swedish. So rotate this around. Hey, I gotta fix the sun on inside the nav screen, but what else is new?
You know what? I'd like to make a risky early play. I'm gonna build another research center.
Da, da, da. Now, with 2 research centers, technically it should be okay if one person does one research center and another person does another research center. It shouldn't have an
Also,
issue.
yes, I got ordered builder to build building.
Yes. So the feature that you requested is now there, so that you have confirmation of your orders.
Yep. So I don't need to do it a bunch of times, and just to be sure.
Yeah.
To be fair, when you have a whole bunch of other players acting as your guards, it's not really all that risky.
Well, risky because you said that we don't technically have the resources to be. We have only enough resources to build the first few buildings, so I'm gonna run out a little bit before I
Yep.
get everything together.
Yep, your infrastructure is gonna suffer a little bit of setback waiting for the builder bot to do some of the job,
Yep.
but research will push ahead.
But I feel that not doing exactly the same thing should be viable, and so we're testing.
Yep. So fortunately,
A mine.
it's a mine. So, oh, you're researching the mine, I guess. Let me go verify that.
Already researched.
Mine. Yep. Wow. There you go. Okay, capacitors and the factories go at the same time. You see.
Yeah. I just, the last 2 times we tried this, I got real tired of, only researching one thing at a time.
I don't blame you. I know the early research doesn't really help you with the bonus stuff. And I think we were actually working through that the last time we were doing this to try to go through the tech tree. So your one thing's now done.
Yep.
And so is the other.
All right, now he's gonna start digging to make the refinery. That's our slowdown point, but I'm gonna do a whole bunch of research while he does that.
Yep.
So, is there a way to reset the nav screen when you're completely screwed it up?
Yes.
How do I do such a thing?
Well, it depends. You can exit the nav screen, come back in, and it will automatically reset you where you are, or you can double click on the self. Double click on the self will recenter you on your own ship.
Okay, let's give that a try.
If that doesn't work, you can exit the nav screen and come back into it, and that should do it anyway.
Oh yeah, looks like it did. I did exit out. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, was messing with the chain, the scaling,
Yeah.
and next thing I was looking at a tiny speck of Mars,
Yeah, you can do that.
and I came back. I was not able to see anything on the ground.
Yep. You're not wrong. Well, actually, if you double click on a building, and then you throw it to the left and zoom all the way out, you're in the far solar system, and I can zoom all the way back in. Look, there's Mars.
Nice one, Adam.
I mean, here's a battle going on, and I'm still zooming in on Mars, and it kind of messed up there, but I'm still zooming in, still zooming in, still zooming in. And notice I'm still in the same building that I had centered. And there it is.
Hey,
Yay!
refinery's almost done.
Yes, it
Done
is.
a lot of research since then. Did all the capacitors tech and the shields.
Oh, they already have ships going already. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, they
Yes.
do.
Well,
All right.
yes.
So I guess Adam and crew has been on nat duty.
I am out of money, but as soon as I have more money, it'll build a
Oh,
factory.
now that's the thing. All right, so I'm gonna go to my asset screen
I gave you 90% of the profit. How could you be out of money already?
because he built a lot.
Have you
I know,
seen me
I know.
spend?
Well, that's true too. All right, so I'm gonna see what everybody has.
Miller and I have had to institute a bit of a spending limit on what I'm allowed to spend on games.
Wow, you're not wrong. So I have a little bit of money. I can try to give you some. You might actually want to build a second refinery. And to be honest, with all the buildings you have, you might want to build a second.
Well, that's soon, but first I need to get you guys your factories that you can produce.
Oh, no wonder you're out of power, man. Look at that. Look at your installation on the asset screen. You got like 4 power. It's like barely moving.
Really?
Yep.
That must be a tech web update then, because I used to be able to do all of these things on one reactor.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
You basically can do about 2.5 buildings on one reactor.
Well, that's a change I would have liked to have known earlier.
It isn't a change, man. At least not recently.
Yeah,
It
you did
def-
two. You did 2 last time. Also, you didn't have as many buildings last time.
The last time I really got a chance to build out a facility, I did not build a second reactor until after I had all these things down, a second research center, and several turrets on the ground.
All right. Do you know what you can do? I can turn off some of the other buildings. So I can turn off the mining facility and the general refinery, and we should be able to get some more stuff going. Or I can turn off one. Actually, we'll turn off the researchers.
It looks like it's just waiting to yeah, turn off the researchers for a minute, I guess.
Yeah, I turned them off.
Because it needs to get the supplies.
Now look how quickly the RMs are going up. Look at that. Because that has enough power to do it. So I turned off the research facilities.
That looks pretty good.
So now I actually probably have a lot I could probably give you if you really wanted to.
Where do I see the power?
You actually, since you own the city, look under installation, look on the asset screen, and it'll be under you.
Construction buildings.
See how you can see the power in the upper right of the installation? It's something out of 2500, like 900. It's counting up.
No. I just have construction of building is complete for each.
Oh yeah, click on the messages so it like makes all of those go away for a second, so you can see past that. It's a red envelope kind of thing, or gray envelope actually.
22 messages.
Yeah, you kind of get rid of those, but you can just get rid of them by like making them go away.
Gotcha. I have lots. Okay.
Only now, but yes. So because you just built the second. No, you didn't build a second reactor yet.
Oh, he's still waiting. Okay, maybe he got a little confused. Let me tell him what I want again.
You turned off the reactor.
I didn't turn off the reactor.
Someone turned off the reactor.
Not me. I don't know how to do that.
All right, I'm turning it back on because someone clicked on it. You had all the energy and then it just got eaten. Oh well. I am going to give you money because you're out and you need to build stuff. So I'm going to click on Refined Materials, and I'm going to click on Jordan, and I'm going to give you as much as I possibly can, because why not? And then I go clicky. And you should now have money now. Build!
I'm frozen now.
When you did that,
Yeah, I just froze.
and crashed the desktop.
Yeah,
Alright,
I crashed
And
desktop.
crash.
Are you effing kidding me? We fixed
Yeah.
that this morning.
Oh, for God's sakes, we just finished patching that!
Right.
Y'all can't fix what ain't broke.
Yeah, something like that. So, come on back in, although I'm all frozen though. Are people joining and that's what's causing the
Sorry,
freeze?
I'm looking.
Oh, you're
quickly
freezing
to
it.
see what the
Hmm.
crash was on.
Yeah, well, since Matt kind of, the asset screen's kind of his baby one way or the other, I'm sure he wants to know what went poof.
Alright, so let me know when to join this. Sounds like Matt's got the whole thing on hold for a sec.
No, he quit out because it's running again, so you
Yeah,
can join
we
right
should
back
be
in.
back in now.
Alright, give me a minute for my graphics to load.
Okay. Huh. All right. Well, that's a thing then. So here's the real question. How easy or hard is it to kill the enemy buildings, considering they have a full city these days? That's,
Back.
you know.
What is this crap? I crash the desktop and come back in and get ganged by two.
I hate to say it, we're gonna have to start producing ships, because yeah,
Well, I wanted to put a factory down, but then we had a whole fiasco about it.
yeah, because you had no power.
This is the first time I've run out of power in several playthroughs.
Well, guess what?
They all must have changed something.
Why is that?
More importantly, I don't see how running out of power stopped the builder bot from building things.
The build, because it couldn't, you didn't have enough resources. That means basically the refineries is pretty much shut down.
So I am attempting to connect now.
All right. As I can tell. All right, so someone's paused. There we
Crashed.
go. Crashed.
I'm still good
Could
right
not
now. At
join.
least.
All right, try to join again, please.
Yeah, you have to give me a minute.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm back in.
That might be it, but still.
Did the bot ever build the reactor?
No, it did not. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did. I see it.
Oh, feel free to tell it to build a factory.
All right. No problem there. Okay. Find the builder bots. Go build.
Adam and Ernest are getting like pursued. I'm making my way over, guys.
All right. So the builder bot was told to build a factory. Now, mind you, I don't think we have any designs for anybody. So that should become a thing. So it's going over the refinery because we don't actually have any a warehouse.
Yeah, I'm just crashing when I attempt to reconnect.
Keep trying if you would, please. I definitely have to fix the tab screen so the AI doesn't keep doing stupid stuff. Now, are multiple people trying to join at the same time? Is that...
Yeah, I crashed as well. I'm trying to see what the crash is.
I'm in the game at the moment right now. I don't have any problems, seemingly.
Well, considering the
not.
server's like all discombobulated, I won't be surprised if we're discombobulated.
I'm doing pretty well. Cleaning up the ant's nest over here.
So where was the crash, Matt? Since you were looking at that.
Area draw ship. It was trying to get a weapon struct out of ship stats fuel pointer,
Huh, okay.
and it got a null instead for a pulse ship.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds like a pulse issue. Huh, alright.
Alright, I'm about to attempt to rejoin again.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back in, but I can't seem making anything work now.
Okay, I'm in.
My ship is showing okay status, but it's not responding to any of my commands. Can't fire weapons. Can't move thrusters.
Did you hit the tilde key to kind of move things?
Yep.
Ooh. It crashed when I attempted to open the nav screen.
Alright, I'll leave
Did
it.
I open the log?
I don't think it's gonna help.
Okay.
I can still see my ship moving because I had my velocity maxed out, so I'm definitely going somewhere.
Alright, let me see if I can find you. Matt, Paul, at... Well, Adam, it looks like, yeah, you did get damaged.
Yeah, but I took some armor damage, but the indicator is showing my ship is fine.
No, you're not wrong there, but I don't know.
Yeah, so it would show me if my engines are powered or something, or a pilot was dead. It looks like everything was fine. I just have no control over my ship.
Can you fire at all?
Nope, cannot fire.
I'd say go in the self-damage screen and see what's going on in there, but I know that was never finished, so... Tell you what. I will take over your ship and you take over my ship. How's that?
Okay.
Let's
How do I do that exactly?
Well, get me targeted. Actually, can I possess? I don't know if I can possess someone else like this. Can I go into your ship?
Don't have controls to do any
Ah,
targeting.
I can move your ship.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like something more system level because I can't even like select targets.
All right, then you might want to exit the game and come back in because that's just sort of very strange. Are you
Yeah.
sure your keyboard and everything else is all hooked up? And
I mean, it was a hot second ago when I joined.
yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong. I just don't understand why that would be a thing. The only thing is click on the screen itself.
I end tasked. I'll see if rejoining fixes it.
All right, the server's frozen, so I guess someone's crashing still.
Yeah, I joined and it crashed on final link building.
Okay, that's sort of strange. There's Annie Naweb. I don't know who that is. But hi. Thanks for joining us. Alright, we definitely need to get some designs up and start producing
Attempting
ships.
to reconnect. I am in.
Okay.
Is red actually enemy? Oh, it sure appears to be.
Possibly.
I rejoined having the same issue, so I think I'm just gonna have to sit out the rest of this current session.
If you could, come back into the game, go into single player, see if you can move around. If you can't, then there might be something on your box that's causing the problem, since you were able to do it before. Or delete the configuration file, come back in, set it up properly, save it, etc., and then see if you can run around okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's the only thing I can suggest at this point, because now the beauty of it is you can, like I said, you can go out and do the single player enough to figure out whether or not things are working and still rejoin in because the system knows you're in here.
Alright, cool. I'm back in the sim screen.
Yay.
You have a factory. Cool.
Yes.
I would like another reactor because I'm about to go to Turret City.
Okay, well, you can go do that. I am going to start designing a ship because we need something. Alright, so we're going to do the cool new red ship. It's a thing. And
Some bases I cannot destroy. They don't take any damage.
I know Ogre was mentioning about that before. I don't know if that's a thing or what the deal with that is.
I flew up one, but I'm aiming at the one that's the triangle-shaped unit. Sorry, I'm not familiar with bases.
Did it start out that way, or did your first shot affect it and then it stopped affecting it?
The yellow
Oh.
bars are still full. How's that?
Okay.
Arthur, our researchers still don't have any power.
Oh, you gotta go in there and turn them back on.
Alright, I'll see if I can figure it out myself first.
Yes,
Because this is a good test of user friendliness.
that's also very true. Alright, so we got that. I'm going to say I want that.
And
I want
let's check.
I'll do it shieldless for now.
And I figured it out. Cool. So it is user friendly.
Yes, thank you. That's a good thing.
Alright, so we have another reactor. Time for Turret City.
Alright. Will auto help the thing.
Yeah, we need more ships because I'm out of bullets.
I'm in the process of designing it. Alright, so I am going to put that there, put that there. Let's move it over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna
Have
put...
you built the self-destruct button into these ships yet?
No, I have not. Put that here because I want these things tightly grouped because I'm kind of that way. Alright. I am now going to save design. Which crash the system? Well, I'm not happy about that. Ouch.
Oh, you've crashed now?
Oh yeah, I'm Dededetsky. And it was during a mem copy under NVIDIA, so I have no idea what just happened there. Okay, well, for good or for ill, I can check to see what the autosave was when it ate itself, and see what happened. Let's see. I'm curious if it's.
Hey, we have a question in our chat.
Oh.
Okay, so.
Okay. Hello, did you program this game? Yes. Hardcore and C++? Actually, it's in C. It's in C, actually. Alright, let me bring this back up, and then I'll pay more attention to the chat real quick. And evidently it did save the design. You can believe that.
For AndyNoWeb, the multiplayer challenge is that it doesn't quite look like it at all times, but there's an AI out there trying to murder us.
Yeah, that's what everybody else was out there actually trying to kill. I should probably move the camera over there. That should show more of that.
The idea of this game is that it's a bit like a 4X or RTS, but we're able to divide up the roles.
Yeah.
So Arthur and Ernest and Paul especially were going out there and shooting up enemy ships and being the military, and I was being the skybox god that sets down buildings, like
Although
you
anybody
typically
could
are
be.
in an RTS.
Yes.
You know,
Alright.
so we've divided up the roles, and as such, we're able to multitask in a way that
Yes.
is a lot harder in a normal RTS game.
Yes.
I just froze after blowing up the enemy base's second reactor.
Well, did you exit the game when Arthur crashed?
No.
Well,
That
there you
might.
go then.
Yes, so now the server is actually back up. So what you're not actually seeing is all the enemies way over there. Although it looks like Ernest is got his butt blown off there.
I'm actually parked at the base. That's probably all.
I'm looking
came
for
back
all the
home.
other ships. Surprised they're not
We're
out
back
there.
in right as
Yeah, you got a
one of the,
disabled ship out there. Although they're trying to.
Oh, cool. We're back in right as reactor number 3 was being built. That's
Yeah, the
excellent.
autosave's nice. I do have to like the autosave. I'll admit that.
Oh, yes, I do see I'm dead in the water now.
Yes.
But I'm having a problem where it's not letting me put down turret installations.
Did you research them?
Yes.
I know we have guns. Is it a matter of lack of money? That's a possibility.
No, as in when I say it won't let me put down, I mean that I go to turret installation, I click on it, and then it doesn't give me anything else. And then
If you just
I'm
click on turret
sitting here.
installation and there's nothing there, you don't actually. They never research the turrets.
No. As in click on turret installation, and it's like, select what to build, like of the different options, but there's only one option.
Yeah.
Turret installation. I click on that, and it doesn't do anything.
Really?
Key buff com 100 prefix XO key 0 qual 128 words flash up. Click on the builder bot again. I click go to build, and now I can't click on anything. The build menu is just worthless.
All right. Let me see. And of course, I get spam. It even says spam on it. Sorry about that.
Server up again?
Yes.
Server's been up, sir. Yes.
Hey Matt, in your bug log, write down that on the code of save game. Go back.
Okay.
I was out of ammo when I.
All right. That's a good question. Could someone go in the factory screen and see if my design got there?
Hold on 1 second, Ernest. You're breaking
Yeah.
up a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah. The config file you want me to delete is the gao.config. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, it is. So I'm gonna go to the builder bot. I'm gonna do. You said turrets.
Hmm?
And I click and it's off in Never Neverland. You're right. Why is
And
that
then
off in
now
Never Neverland?
you look and see, can you, build anything after that?
Yeah, I can click build and build something else, but I can't do that. Can I build a different thing, you mean? That's probably a good point. Let me see if I can build a refinery.
Where's the
No?
builder bot going?
I told him to move somewhere accidentally. Sorry, he's gonna go bye-bye now. Jeez, you're not
I
wrong.
can't open the build menu anymore.
Oh, I mean, I can select them.
Oh, mine is screwed. Like mine, I click build, the build menu flashes briefly and then runs off screen.
Alright, I'm gonna exit out and come back in and see if I can...
I'm going to exit the game.
It's probably...
Why'd you send him over there?
Didn't mean to.
Hey, Paul, are you over around the base blowing stuff up?
Yep.
Do you mind destroying the ship that's scraping along the ground right now?
Well, once I get this turret off my tail, yes.
Alright, yeah, I don't know why it... That's really a real problem.
To reset my game.
You got another question in chat.
Yeah, so
Oh, I do.
anyway,
Okay.
we can switch ships in real time. No, it doesn't hinder gameplay.
No, it's actually pretty easy to do, actually.
It
Yeah, that's you, huh, Ernest? Just
I
grazing
guess
along the ground.
Yeah, that's me. You can destroy that, please.
So I'm building a new... if I can. You can do it extremely real time. As a matter of fact, I can show you. I will actually possess the other builder bot ship, even though that's kind of a stupid thing to do. Is someone joining?
I'm attempting to join.
Alright, that's why it's doing this thing.
Yes, as Arthur's about to show you, that's kind of part of the point, is that you can be a pilot, you know, manning a singular ship and flying around, and if that ship gets destroyed, you just select another one of your allied ships and jump to it.
Is someone crashed because it's completely frozen?
What's that?
I was gonna ask, did you want me to like blow you up? What was that?
Yeah, I
Or
can't do
someone...
anything.
there we go. Now they finally exit.
Okay,
Thank you.
I was in the process of a long crash, and I wasn't even certain if I was in the game.
Okay, so if I wanted to select a builder bot ship, for example,
Yes, blow you up or attack you or what?
so now I can hit P and poof, I'm in it.
Never mind, Paul.
I'm in the builder bot.
Won't get me anymore.
As stupid as it
Okay.
might be, I even have the builder beam.
And what we're hoping to try and get to, we've done this in previous, but we haven't done it in the, we've done like previous flight sims, you know, where we're all just flying around. We're trying to get to the point where we have this as part of the RTS portion of the game,
Yes.
where we build a bunch of ships and then, you know, the boys can command the ships.
Yes.
And you can fly around with your squadron. If you lose a ship, it's whatever.
See, I was able to just bop right back.
The process of getting there is proving to be a challenge.
Yes, it's still alpha. Actually, another ship
To Danny Pullis, hi back,
with
whoever that is.
one button up. And
Unfortunately, AninoWeb, the IFS is still not super. The identified friend foe is still not super great.
yeah, the problem is the game is still very early stage. We're trying to work out a lot of the bugs, but actually, in this case, we're going a lot further with it than we have before. Well, each game we do. Before we didn't have the full city going, and we didn't have the as many people. As a matter of fact, you know, we've been playing for what? A good 10-20 minutes, I guess, and it's been pretty stable. Now, is it me, or is the enemy facilities not like producing very much anymore?
There might be not anything left of the enemy facilities with Paul open there.
I took out both the reactors.
Oh, well, then their city's dead in the water.
So,
Do they have a builder bot left?
They do have a builder bot left.
Okay, well, it's not smart enough to realize it needs
yeah,
power.
yeah, it's not smart enough though to realize the refinery's not going to give it anything, is it?
Yeah, it's dead in the water. So congratulations, we won because you blew out its reactors.
But so in theory, in the future, the different colored reticules are supposed to mark friend or foe.
Yeah, I haven't. I spent the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, trying to work out for the public demo, which should be available very, very soon. Meaning like tonight or tomorrow, actually, which will just allow you to fly around and stuff like that and blow stuff up in waves. Lots of different designs there. But yeah. So unfortunately,
So we're going to reset the server.
I think so, or we can go to an older save game that doesn't have the things blown out. We might as well blow out their builder bot.
Team Dashper, hey there, and you know what? It is cool. It's less spacebar because you're not jumping to enemy ships. You're jumping to your other ships.
Yes.
It's more like you are the fleet, all of it.
Yes.
when you're not directly controlling a ship, you can still give it commands. Arthur's been trying to demonstrate that a few times.
Yes.
He did command our builder bot directly into enemy territory,
Because I was stupid. But what else is new?
but at least it works.
Yeah, no, it does work, but it's just like, what do I want to do? But the idea is that you have an entire fleet. As you get shot up, and you will, you immediately jump to one of your other more healthy ships with a single button press, and you keep fighting. So now you can actually do giant fleet battles without worrying about, oh no, my ship got killed, now what do I do? Well, you just jump to the next ship. That's, as long as you have it, just jump right to it. It's a single button press.
Or if you're like me, and unfortunately, of course, I'm not streaming CNCs, but I spend all my time in the nav screen, which is just the RTS screen, basically.
Right.
I don't personally pilot any of my ships. I'd rather just focus on the wider scale.
And he can order ships to go attack things or do things from there, even his own ship. So he could order the ship that he came in with to go over and attack the enemy base if he wanted to, and it'll do exactly that. Even though he's never even piloted it. So if you're not really skilled as a pilot, you can actually, you don't have to be. You can live your life in the RTS nav screen and command things as if it's an RTS game.
So I could take over Jordan's ship then, is what you're saying.
Unfortunately, I think I still have it turned on, yes. I have it set you can't possess the enemy anymore, but I don't have it set that you can't possess another human player ship.
I mean, there are several points in this play where I would not have noticed. The problem is that
Yes.
the moment I exit the nav screen into the sim screen, it's not going to know where to put me if you're in my ship, Ernest.
No, you'll be fighting over the same ship. That's what will happen.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that I should live in the nav screen and not tell Ernest when I'm just going to randomly do stuff.
Something like that. All right, someone crashed. That's why it's paused.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my thing to crash the desktop.
Okay,
It's
fair
actually
enough.
taking a while to crash out.
I'm waiting for Arthur to decide if we're reloading an earlier save or restarting the server before I join again.
Yeah, same.
Well, do you want to start from scratch? That way we see more of the other stuff, or do you want to just go from? What I can do is instead of start from scratching, I can go from one of the earlier autosaves, so we know that nothing weird is happening. You want to do that? All right, we'll do it like what, 6 minutes in?
Okay.
You want to try it from there?
Yeah, at least I have some ammo left in my ship.
Yeah. All right, so I'm quitting out the server. Everybody else should go out, and I'll bring it back up, and we'll go 6 minutes in, and then we'll see how far that is. According to this, we got 30 minutes in. There we go. That's good. Maybe we'll do 8 minutes in, so we'll be a little bit further in.
It is early alpha. A lot of the flight sim stuff is very stable. Is worth noting for our audience.
Yeah.
It's the RTS stuff is being worked on right now, the city building, but our first several multiplayer tests were just flying around in ships, blowing each other up.
Yeah.
That was a time and a half.
There's no
Including
doubt
the
that it
one
needs a
where-
lot more love. The RTS screen does. It's nowhere near completed. They're up to the same level. Oops, it ate itself. Huh.
Yeah, the fun one that we were doing was with where we had our own fleet of 5 ships around us, and we could just get commands to attack the other opponents.
As a matter of fact, you can jump from one ship to the other. That was kind of the whole point, which was kind of cool. I mean, that was testing to see if fleets worked in multiplayer, and the result was yes, they do. And we can jump between ships and have them attack each other and create a giant mess in space. So I tried an early save and I didn't like it, so I'm going to try a little bit earlier than that. And it's blowing up too. Same spot.
Huh.
That is really strange. Alright, looks like we're going to start from full scratch. I didn't want to do that, but I guess we're going to have to.
You made me do this.
This is weapon P. Now, Matt, you were talking about that the weapon was not correct, the WP item?
Yes.
Yeah, this is having the same issue here. Maybe the save corrupted, I don't know. Oh, that's very strange. Which, it's area.
Line 530 and area direction.
531, yep.
Yep.
That's strange. That means one of the items got corrupted. I wonder if it's a database issue. Huh. Alright. Well, I'm hosting, so we got the plain old straightforward there.
Right, connecting.
Alright. So I'm going to go in the kind of the beam ship. I'll Just be an admiral. So, Paul, if you're coming in, now's the time.
Yep, I'm launching.
And Adam, you too, obviously.
That would be Adam probably as player.
Yeah, because he deleted his file. You might want to update your name there, Adam. Adam, you want to change your name?
I did, but it changed itself back.
You have to hit enter.
There you go. Alright, so I'm going to set myself as ready. Paul, you ready? There you
Yep.
go. And there we go. Alright. So, since this wasn't actually brought up in the chat before, over there, should be, somewhere, is that yellow guy over there. That actually is the enemy builder bot. And that's all he starts with. And if we leave him alone long enough, he will start proceeding to build an entire city along with factories and everything else over there. And then we get swarmed by a bunch of gnats initially, and then become a lot nastier as it gets more and more research done. We start with our friends. And they go, yay!
And there was much rejoicing.
There was.
Is that going to be the final game plan to always have everyone start with a little ship, or in the future is everyone just going to be starting in the nav screen? Like
I was hoping that everybody would enter in with the ship, but they wouldn't have any weapons.
okay.
Meaning, it would be so unbelievably horribly bad of a ship that you wouldn't want to fight with it.
Okay.
I just crashed a desktop.
So the plan is not for multiplayer to always start with a huge advantage over the AI.
Right. I mean, right now we just go over there and wipe it out and be done with it. And that'd
We
be
could
the end of it.
always win if we wanted to.
Hey
Something
Jordan,
like
check
that.
to see if I increased your budget before I crashed out.
So it crashed out on that again?
Okay.
Okay, that's right. We had that
No.
problem before.
No, I increased this thing and I clicked on something inside of the actual screen, the asset screen, and it just blinked out on me and went to desktop.
Oh, that's a thing.
I'd already adjusted the settings, and I was just.
You did adjust it for Jordan. I see it. It says 93 here.
Yeah, that's what I went to. Yep. And
Yeah.
then I just randomly clicked the spot on the screen. I don't know where I clicked, and then it just crashed me to desktop. So.
That's a problem. We'll have to
I
figure that
will
one
see
out.
it again. I know about where I was, so I'm going to see what happens when I click.
Okay, because you can tell us, that would help us like shore off the bugs that's in the system. That's the big problem in the game, is that let's face it, it's alpha. We're trying to stomp the major stuff, and then the minor stuff comes up because that's the stuff that's left. And so the further we get in, the less it's going to be crashy, and the more it's going to be harder to find them, if you know what I mean. But the bigger stuff is what it
The
is.
asset screen. Remind me how I fix that.
Excuse me?
I'm trapped in the asset screen where now every time I hit.
You should be able to hit the asset screen button again to get out.
But then it, is now my only button on the Omniball is
Joining them.
asset screen.
All right,
To
then
be
hit the escape key,
Okay. Gotcha. And then hit sandbox.
and then hit sandbox. You should be able to go back in.
Gotcha.
That's one of the
Thank
things
you.
I really wanted to fix, all the menuing craziness. But again, Matt was working on the tutorial. I was working on the new single player scenarios for the demo release. So that's all that stuff we were hoping to do the last 2 weeks. We only did very little bit of it, which I'm not thrilled about. But if you notice, we're a lot further than we were last time. We played for maybe 40 minutes last time. This time we actually technically did a full playthrough, since, Paul blew up the reactors, and that was kind of the end of that.
I apologize for leading us to victory.
Something like that.
Heartbroken.
Yeah, something like that. Realistically, but that's actually the whole point. That's actually your point, Jordan. We shouldn't have good enough weapons to take out their buildings right now.
We just don't have the option to know. Oh wow, I can accidentally build buildings right on top of each other. That's cool.
Really?
Really.
All right, that's nice.
That's not where I told the building to go, I'd like to point out.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't tell the reactor to be right on top of the research center.
They look very happy with each other.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to break up the happy couple now.
True, true.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, there's a lot of checks I need to put into the system that will actually say no, I'll put it within that radius kind of thing. I thought that was there, but obviously I was wrong. So, although I think if I slam it with my ship, it will say, "Hey, you triggered an impact," and it might push it, but I'm not really sure. Kind of curious now. Let's see what happens. Now bounce me, but it push it. Yeah, might have actually pushed it. No, I didn't push it. All right, fair enough. I was wondering.
So since we're talking about possessing Jordan's ship, how about
Yes.
if I accidentally blow up his ship while he's in the...
Well, why don't you possess it? All right, seriously. Let me go and find it, so I can see what the one you're actually playing with. There's Jordan. Of course, the Caesar's right there.
Yeah.
So there's Jordan's ship. So why don't you possess Jordan's ship?
I'm getting there. I keep cycling past it.
We can go the other direction on the keys,
This time I didn't make the mistake of. This time I built 2 reactors and 2 research centers before getting to the refinery.
Yes, you did.
They were a little behind on economy, but we shouldn't run out of power this time.
Well, that's the hope.
So Jordan's ship's right there.
Hello, Von Daft.
Nope, it's a
Nice of you joining.
me to desktop.
What, to possess him?
Yeah, when I hit the P button, I'm at
Really?
the desktop now. Jordan didn't like that.
Evidently.
Jordan is indifferent about that, let's be clear.
So no, I cannot possess the ship that another player's in.
I'm tempted to see
But
if I can do it
could
from the
I
server.
give him that ship.
It shouldn't matter. We're on the same team, and so he should be able to be possessed. I have code limiting so you can't possess enemy ships like you used to be able to do, but I didn't actually put code in to make sure. I only made sure you were part of the same corporation. I didn't really have it check, hey, someone else was actually piloting it. So it's like, maybe I should do that.
Nope, I can't get back in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Let me try one more time.
Well, all right. I already know what's probably happening, and I'll tell you when you're gonna try to join back in.
One more time, just to double check.
I'm almost positive you won't be able to, because what's happening is when the builder bot is mining, it has a nasty tendency of not working very well.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna wait to try one more time.
Try it again and see if it crashes, if you would, just so we can definitively say that's what's causing it.
All right, I'm connecting now,
All right.
and I got the spinny wheel and the desktop.
All right. So that definitively says that when it's doing this little trick, it's going to eat itself. Matt,
Yes.
could you do me a favor? Exit
Yeah.
the game, come back in while this is doing it, let it crash, and I want to see where it crashes at.
Okay, reloading.
I guess you're building the refinery?
Yeah.
Okay, because the mine station's up.
Let me know when to finish building the refinery. I'm in the research screen, just grabbing a million things while it works.
No, you're not wrong. It's just it's out of
Oh,
resources.
no, I'm just saying, like, let me know when it finishes so that I can start
Yeah.
building more things.
No,
'Cause
you're
I'm
right.
not paying attention.
All right, Matt, whenever you're ready. I know it's going to kill. I know it's going to die. I always want to know why, where it is. And if you can, just mark it down and then exit out, so we're not just sitting
It
here.
did not die. I'm back in.
You horrible person, you! What do you mean you did not die?
That is not
Don't-
dead, which can forever lie.
But don't forget, I did try to possess Jordan's ship on and then it crashed. So I think it's trying to rejoin. And
My immune system is more than equal to the use. Von Dutch, any
guess
build
so.
available for testing. Fun fact: later today there will be a demo released, possibly, or tomorrow.
Yeah, so you're sending it tomorrow, depending on how quickly we
Arthur
can
and
get
Matt are
Game Jolt to
working
do it.
hard on it. So soon, very soon.
Am I the only one who suddenly can't see the ground anymore?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not. I'll just fly up.
Okay. Oh, it finished the refinery. Cool.
Yeah, I know. I tried to join. I was watching Arthur's. I still cannot join. So yes, I think it's because Jordan is piloting his ship over to me. Possess a building.
I just watched somebody slam into the ground.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the ground.
You
I'm
found
trying,
it.
I'm trying to make it appear. I can't see it. I
You can't.
just
You
see
have to fly up.
space.
You have to fly up, Paul.
I
Yeah,
tried
you
flying
have to
up and
You
it
have to
didn't
do
do
the
keep
other
that.
going.
thing.
Just
Oh,
keep going.
and he went through the ground. Wait, I
I
watched
see it now.
Paul hit the ground at 6 million miles per hour. It was awesome.
Did he bounce?
No.
Oh no.
It just splat.
All right, should we be kind to Ernest and go to an earlier save game so that he can actually rejoin in?
Well, you can. Can Jordan possess a building, or is he only
No.
allowed? Are we only allowed to possess ship?
Actually,
good.
I don't know. I've never
Well.
tried to possess a building.
Oh no.
Are we gonna see
I
a
don't know if
building
that would be really cool, but
jump off the ground and fly all over the place?
it has no engine, so it won't run anywhere. The rest of the system will just go derp.
But he's in the builder bot. You know, that's all he
No,
does.
no,
is
no.
that.
You can possess the builder bot. That's a legitimate ship. You can do that. But can you
Sure,
actually
I'll
possess a
the builder
building?
bot.
Huh?
Sure, I'll possess the builder bot.
Okay, you
That'll be
possess the
fun.
builder bot, Jordan, and Ernest. Then see if you can come back in, because technically, at that point,
What I like is the builder bot continues to like do its programming, even though I am inside it now.
that all right. Now I could. It's a live stream. That'll be nice.
I am joining. I am crashing. Nope, cannot join.
Really?
I have ejected myself from the game. I'm in deep space right now.
In Soviet Russia, Ernest deletes Ernest.
God, you are deep. Well, you're still up there. I see you. All right, I'm gonna try to possess your ship, or you think I shouldn't because we want to continue?
Go ahead, see what
I
happens.
think at this point, finding out what happened is more important than continuing the.
All right, I'm gonna possess Ernest's ship, and I'm in Ernest's ship. I got shots and everything.
I guess next possess my ship.
All right, let's see if Jordan has some magical powers there. I think we all know the answer to that one. And possessing the Jordan ship, and I'm actually able to possess the Jordan ship. I'm right above the stuff here. I'm able to fire. I'm able to move. I'm also the server. So technically, well, actually, since we've been playing Bouncy Bouncy Ship, do you want to try to come back in and see what happens?
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to go back to your ship, or should
I am back in my ship.
We're going.
So, it doesn't seem to want to let me open the builder bot. Oh, okay, the builder bot's still grabbing it, but it doesn't seem to want to let me open the build menu with the builder bot while I'm in it.
I'm back at desktop
Really?
again.
Although it looks like now it's finally about to go and actually build the thing I told it to.
It is. I can see it doing its thing. Oh, I know why.
Mhm.
Did you exit the? All right. You exited the nav screen, right?
I mean, I'm in the nav screen.
How did you know you possessed the builder bot then?
First I exited the nav screen and then possessed the builder bot,
Okay.
and then I went back to the nav screen.
All right. By going back to the nav screen, you re-enable the AI. When you go back into the sim screen, you disable the AI.
Okay. But what I meant is from the nav screen, I click build and nothing happens. Let me test it again now that it's done. Nope, I cannot open the build menu anymore.
Okay. Let me see if I can. I'm kind of curious now. So if I go into the nav screen, click on the builder bot. All right.
Another question about the joysticks. I believe most joysticks are covered.
Yeah, the gamepad seems to be only skittish, but pretty much any joystick we've thrown out it has worked.
I see. Ernest referring to the USB joystick.
AX52.
So is there anything you want me to look at in the logs here, Arthur? Or won't my problem be showing up in what you're saving to my computer?
Yeah, so are you able to
Hold on for a second.
access? Oh, okay.
I'm just answering the guy's question. What was the question? I'm sorry.
I said, is there a log I can look at on my machine to see where it's bailing out on my way in, or don't you think that'll
Yes. If you RWM, actually go into RWM net log, which should tell you how far you got.
All right, it's saying terrain thread 6.
That's okay. That's the train engine doing this thing.
That's as far as it got. It said thread 6 going to sleep waiting for task. That was the end of it.
All right. Can you check the RWM.log and see what that gets?
Yes. I got a bunch of prep monitor status ship things in here.
That's just prepping the system.
And the last one was status ship select ship is max radius blah 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 UI HUD rec.
Okay. Now someone crash out? Or not, maybe? I don't know. Oh, it's not. Probably doesn't have enough. Oh, there it goes. I'm able to control the builder bot. I mean, he's going off to go build something now.
I can't.
Oh, that's interesting. Because you have two refineries, it was going back and forth between both of them trying to get enough stuff to build everything.
We've had that happen before, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's smart enough to do that.
But yeah, so like I'm not allowed to use it. Oh wait, nope. Build menu came back. Okay, cool. I don't know what happened there, but I'm glad that my nightmare is over. Anyway, I assume you want a factory.
I do.
How about right there?
And it's going back to the refinery to go grab some more materials.
As a note, we still have the issue where I am now working on computers 3, and yet cannot do research facilities 2, even though the only required technology is computers 2.
All right, well that's the thing. Let's. Adam, you here?
Yeah, we had that same problem last week. On double check the tech web, and everything appears to be hooked up correctly. So I do not know what the problem is.
All right, let's. Yeah, I didn't even see it. Where's the research? Or here's research facilities.
Yeah, it cuts off, but it will just say research facilities in red.
Okay.
But if you click it, you look at it, and I have all those requirements.
I wonder if I can move. Oh.
And I'm handsome to boot.
Okay then. Now Matt, what's interesting is the sorting's wrong, which there might be some other issues.
Which sorting?
Well, I'm looking in the researchable text, and you have a bunch of reds, and then you have an assault drone thing that's available to research, and then a bunch of reds and the computers 3. Now, is that within my end of things that's causing that problem, or is it?
This is in the researchables?
Yeah. I mean, if you look on the, you should be able to go in there right now and look at it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is all sorts of messed up.
Yeah,
That
so
shouldn't be like that.
that's what I mean.
Okay, let me make a note of that.
Okay, yeah, that's a new thing. Is that because now do you sort it or do I sort it and then you just take it for what I have?
Honestly, I don't remember. I'll have to check it.
Okay.
But I'll make a note to check the sorting.
All right. If it's on my end, tell me, and I'll look into why the sorting's all screwy. If it's on your end, obviously fix your storage chain.
Yeah.
You know, because that shouldn't work that way. So there's a whole thing here called research facilities, and maybe that's the one that. Did you scroll down, Jordan?
Yes, I did.
All right. I have the
Somewhat.
research facilities under this reactor 2. I'm gonna wait until electromagnetics 2 stops. Don't try to put a new thing there, if you would, please.
Oh, yeah, under reactors 2, but it's still in red.
All right. For me, it's not. For me, it's actually.
For me, it totes is, and I cannot move it. But
All
I
right.
can't drag it over. I already tried that. Like, well, maybe it's in red, but I can still click and drag it. Nope.
I mean, there might be an out of syncing issue. That would be a thing if that's the case.
What are you
then...
looking at? Which researchable item?
All right. If you look, and it might be a real thing. If you look in the listing, we have hull class, laser weapons, pulse drives 2, reactors 2, and then there's resource facilities sitting right there, which for me I can research. Standard armor 2, mines 2, which I can research. Refineries 2, you saw how that was lit up.
Facilities and mines too are in red for me.
They are, but on my screen they're not. So,
I see computers 3 and propulsion 3 as researchable.
Well, he's researching computers 3 right now. It might make a certain sense to have a different color again for something that's currently being researched.
Okay.
Well, we were going to have that little bar go across the bottom to show how far it was researched anyway. So maybe that's the answer, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so Jordan, don't do anything. I'm going to try to see if I can research facilities. It might be an
Okay.
internal
Well, on the
thing that's not
building
causing
thing,
this issue.
something has been changed because now, at this point, attempting to build turret installations breaks the build screen.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. All right, so I'm able. Do you see that I'm researching research facilities on your research screen?
I currently see electromagnetics 2. No, wait. If I hover over it, I can get it to say research facility Mark 2. It still says electromagnetics 2 for some reason.
Okay.
No, that Research Facility Mark II is the name of the facility.
But yeah, but it's I don't.
So, but I see it researching research facilities in the top
Okay.
one,
All right.
about 2 minutes left, and computers 3, a little under 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
I
So
can see that kind of having a slight, I think, syncing issue where electromagnetics 2, like the words electromagnetics 2, has gotten stuck there. But yeah, I broke my build screen.
that's the thing. I don't understand why that would happen.
I mean, me
No,
neither.
I do get it, and I'm half tempted to like do something stupid here and try to figure out what's causing the problem. I don't know if people want me to do that.
I mean, we currently have no turrets.
Yes, but we have people, but we have no like designs.
Well, I'm gonna quit the game real quick because my access to the build menu is completely broken right now.
Yeah, no, that needs to be changed. I'll admit that. Why is the enemy facility like not go do anything? And we've been sitting here for a while, and it's just sort of sitting there.
Yeah, last several times they definitely started swarming us by now.
Yeah, did someone blow anything up over there?
I haven't been on to blow
No.
anything up, so nope, not me.
I've just been sitting down idle listening to the conversation.
Same. I was waiting for the bot to do anything, but it doesn't appear to be after it got everything built.
I've been noticing that it seems that there's only just buildings over there and like the builder bot, and that's it.
Well, that's the thing. The builder bot, its builder bot, is just sort of sitting here. It got 3 buildings down, a reactor, mine, and now it's just sitting there. Oh, I know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you it's trying to get. Maybe I could be very wrong about that. Maybe selected a place that doesn't exist. That'd be kind of strange. You would think it would come up by now. Let's see if it's on the edge.
While Arthur's investigating that,
No.
Ernest, would you mind trying to trade 1,000 of my RMs away to someone else? Anyone
I
else?
would, but I cannot get into the game as rank Warmaster right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been excluded from here for a while now.
Yep. Jordan said, "Sorry, you're not playing today," and then shut the door on me.
Well, he did say
No.
he did say he was going to space you.
The best part is, Ernest, this time I got you to do it to yourself.
He's not wrong. So, all right. So the research is done now, right? Yeah, it's done. So you should actually have other things. Yeah, we have advanced research facility. So I can actually take advanced research facility.
Well, before you do that,
Oops.
someone else should look and see if they can see it.
All right, so someone else go into the research screen and look under items and see if the research facility, the newer one, is actually there. There's another analytics facility, which I'm not sure what it is. Oh, that's that one.
Research. I'm seeing Analytics Facility M, and I'm seeing Research Facility MK.
Yeah, and they're both available to be researched. Yes.
They're not grayed out. They're like fully opaque.
That means they're full blue. So yes, one's 10 research points, and the other one's 75.
I
So,
can also
yes.
see them now that I'm back in.
Okay. Well, try to research one of them, if you would, please.
Okay. I want that analytics facility.
There you go. And there you go. And I see it researching up there. So maybe I need something to keep the researching in the sync, like I did with the factory stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, there's definitely true that the enemy AI is definitely not having a good day because it's stopped. I don't know why it just stopped. I mean, like I said, you were usually very sworn by now.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it picked something it shouldn't have? I mean, Jordan was talking about that the turret seemed to be crashing. Maybe it tried to put down a turret.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe it tried to put a turret for its own down, and it
They
broke its
have-
own. It broke its own build menu.
Yeah.
They
Except
have no-
it can't exit and re-enter the game like I did to fix its
have-
build menu.
I had no problem putting turrets down in the past.
Oh yeah, we put plenty of turrets down the past. I don't know what's changed.
I mean, within this,
What was it? Go 99 bugs in the code. 99
Yeah.
bugs in the code. Take one down, patch it around. 103 bugs in the code.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, well, yeah. All right. We have a choice here. We can kind of restart-ish, which I hate to do, but we got, but I would like to see what the problem is. Oh, it's no, you're moving. I thought I had it targeted. I was going, holy wow, it's moving, and it's like, no, it really isn't.
I started building more things once I got back in.
Yeah, you did. So yeah. So what I want to do is, I hate to say it. Do we have a factory yet?
Yeah.
All right. So let's squeeze out a builder bot, and then I'm going to tell the builder bot to try to go build something, like a
Okay.
turret, more accurately. And what I want to do is I want to step through the code and see why it's not being happy, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's as much as we want to get on, there's no getting on to anything if the AI cannot advance past this stage because it wants to protect itself and can.
Right.
Very wisely, it wants to put a turret down to stop all of us maniacs from killing it.
So why don't you maniacs go over there and kill what's left of them, because obviously that's not going to go anywhere.
Yay.
So you can do something a little more interesting. Okay, so the builder bot just popped out. Hi, builder bot. Welcome to life. We're about to kill you. All right. So I see it. I will go to the build menu. Why not? Or not. Okay, so if it's okay with you, all right, first things first, I want to see if it matters from the menu. All right, build, turret installation. It's showing up, and I want to see if it's a nav screen issue or it's an issue. Yeah, it just won't. Oops. Is it running? Is it moving? All right. Interestingly enough, it will build it from the sim screen build menu, because there's a turret. So there's something in the nav screen build menu that's causing the problem, because it was able to build a turret. So that's a test. So now we know it's not the ability of it building a turret, so there's nothing wrong with the tech web. It's the fact that alright, I'm going to be complete nudge, and I am going to tell it to build a turret over the enemy encampment.
You can actually get to the point where you can tell it where to place it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't.
Now, are you doing it from the nav screen, or are you doing it from the sim screen?
Nav screen.
Do it from the sim screen.
Okay. Even when I just told her to build about to build something else.
That's fine. Alright, so I'm going to come all the way over here.
Did you try the turret from the nav screen?
I did, and I knew it just eats it. I didn't check anything.
Okay.
Alright.
As I was focused on fixing my Windows a sec, so I didn't hear if you actually found the problem. I want to know I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. No, I had the same exact problem as you did. The problem that happened was, in the nav screen, it just kind of goes blurp.
Yep.
Well, I blew up their refinery and research center. Shall I just pull back?
Yeah, pull back and let's see what happens with the incoming builder bot.
Just to let people know, your video is choppy on your. That's not actually gameplay.
Oh,
Shouldn't
it
on
means
my end, you mean?
It means the stream.
Yeah, the
Yes,
stream.
those watching the stream. It looks a lot better than that for us.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's having the problems
We
it's having.
have been having some issues with the OBS today.
Yeah.
OBS is a new program for us. So you know.
Well, worst comes to worst, I am recording this in 4K, and I will put that up onto the
YouTube.
onto YouTube. Yes. And
YouTube.com.
the
The channel is what again?
you'll have to do the link because it's
No.
Rank Warmaster.
I thought the channel was Laser Beams.
It is Laser Beams and Particle Streams. You're quite right. I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, on YouTube.com, search Laser Beams and Particle Streams.
Yep.
For the Rank Warmaster plays. You can see all of our previous awesomeness. And, you know, maybe learn something about this crazy project Arthur's been doing that is way fun.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I appreciate that. All right,
Okay,
Paul.
so Adam, separate question. What has this analytics facility gotten for me?
All right, so the analytics facility essentially allows you to basically speed up your research by by essentially allowing you to basically have multiple research centers working on the same project. The normal research center does not do well with others. You can only really essentially assign one facility to it, and that's it. However, the analytics facility basically works well with others. By itself, not so good at researching. When you basically help another research center research, it does it really good. So what you want to do is you want to pick one of these standard research centers to basically start the project, and then add on the analytics ones on top of that to basically sort of boost it. So it's sort of a decision. Do you want to basically sort of research a whole bunch of different technologies, or do you want to basically research one technology really fast?
Ah, gotcha.
Oh,
I'll
so
give
it's
that a try.
like enabling graphics card.
So I will finish up Computers 2, I think. Computers 3. With the help of the analytics facility. It's got it. Oh, nice. That shaved off a full minute.
Yep.
Fantastic. I love it.
All right,
So you can do a
so
combination of regulars. You do basically like one research with a whole bunch of analytics attached. A combination of like 2 or 3 researchers with analytics attached. There's a whole bunch of different combinations to kind of get the research progress you want.
Nice. I approve.
And on top of that, eventually you'll find that there are modifications in the game, and one of them for the research tree is essentially the ability to sort of improve the sort of research sharing that the analytics facility gives you.
And then next time I'm about to start another research, we'll have Arthur open up the research screens that he can watch as we shave time off the research to just show off this function. This is our first time doing this.
yes.
Well, I think the enemy bot is actually doing something now. Oh,
Is-
nope, that's Arthur.
That's
Arthur.
me messing around. Okay, Paul, you might as well slaughter the rest of them because it's not going to happen. Also, for whatever reason, and I guess it makes a certain level of sense, the turret, for whatever reason, doesn't want to blow up the enemy building.
Yeah, it's just sitting there, being sad.
It is being said. I'm kind of curious. Oh, there goes the reactor. Wow! Big bada boom. Okay. I'm kind of curious if it put. Do I actually have my own facility? I do. Huh. So yeah, because I built so far away, it considers it a separate city.
Nice.
So I actually have my own city, and yeah, it's powered, and I have a reactor. It's just sitting there, and the 100% is going to the turret. So yeah, it's doing this thing. Well, you might as well blow up our stuff there, Paul.
Okay then.
Well, there goes his builder bot.
I'll be right back.
Oh, so you're taking out our reactor. That was our reactor. Yeah.
I thought you told me to get rid of all the other stuff.
Yeah, you can do it. That's fine.
Hmm.
We're not going to be in here for very much longer, I guess.
So, alright,
So do you want to show me that research thing that you wanted to show me?
go to the research screen. We have 5 facilities now.
No, we don't. Yes, we do. By the way, Matt, when I went to the research screen and when I first got in there, it only still showed the 2. I actually had to close the city and reopen it. Then we had 5 again.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, same
I'm
here.
still in the game.
Excuse me?
Is my ship still in the game? Am I
Is
still
your
flying
ship
around?
still in the game? Actually, I do not know. So don't do anything, Jordan, yet. I want to see whether or not if Adam is still in the system. Looking for Adam. Oh, yes, Adam is in the game and you're actually moving.
Yeah, am I just like flying in circles?
Yes.
Huh. Yeah, because I just rapid fire hit next target E and blew up everything on my screen, but I guess it's not hasn't been translated across the network.
No, I don't have that go across the network, so you only did that locally.
Uh, yeah, so for me, I'm basically all alone now.
If you exit the game and come back in, everything else will reappear.
Huh. Interesting.
It was meant for testing, and it only works locally. As a server, if I do that, then you guys will actually explode. But you as a client, it doesn't go across the network.
Okay. Interesting.
So, if you want to demonstrate the additive research abilities, that would be
Alright,
good.
so we have a few things. One unfortunate note is because of the character limits, I actually just have to have memorized which facility is which. Like one of these is a research facility Mark II.
Yeah.
I just know which one that is.
Yeah,
but okay.
there's a character limit in the tech web, and so some of the names have to be shrunk.
So we're gonna be showing this with propulsion 3 and electromagnetics 3.
All right, go for it.
And do I have another 3 that I could also toss on something else? Not at the moment. Okay, whatever. So propulsion 3 on a normal research facility.
It is 19
Electromagnetics
minutes.
3 on another normal one.
Ah.
Is 20 minutes each. If I toss electromagnetics 3 onto our analytics facility and
Ooh.
another one,
There you go. Now it's down to 9 minutes. See, that worked very well. So it's literally, it went from 20 minutes down to 10 minutes.
and we'll do the standard shields 2, which I know is a small thing, on the better research facility. Let's see how quickly that goes.
Yep. Yeah, Matt, we got to move the text
Not a
over
mess,
because
guys.
it's just kind of a mess.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why some of the baseline times seem a little high, because once you start adding in basically basically sort of higher tech levels, additional research centers, analytics facilities on top of that, it shaves down the time considerably.
Yeah, we've never gotten to this point of the research tree. I'm quite happy with it because I play way more 4X and RTS games than flight sim games. So like this whole here is my jam, which is the point of this game that Arthur's made. I can do my jam.
That's the idea. Everybody can do what they want as they want to do it. And if they want to deal with it, they don't have to. That's always the point. Oh, thank you, Ogre, for posting the channel link to the YouTube channel. I just noticed that in the chat. So yes, so we are where we are. I don't know why the AI locked up and didn't stop building. It doesn't usually do that, obviously.
We don't
So I
know if
think
that
it
happened
depends
around
on.
the. Go ahead, Jordan.
I think it depends on whether or not it decides to try and build a turret early while the turret is broken.
No, it built 2 turrets last time.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it built them. That's the wacky
Okay.
part.
I got zapped by it while I was loading the game.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. So my question is, why didn't our turrets actually do anything? Matt, can we actually go to the old building screen, or that still doesn't work yet?
I don't know. Did you leave the key link in there? I haven't touched the building screen yet.
Well, I mean, I used to be able to double click on something and go to the building screen. There's no other way in other than the asset screen.
Oh, hold on. Let me test that.
Whoops. Oh, that's interesting. So I have one for you, Matt. If you, here, let me close this. If you show the buildings and you click on the building type,
Yeah, I just saw that. It closes them.
it closes everything. I mean, literally goes all the way back up to the corporation, like a full reset.
That's a little odd.
That's an odd thing. So there's another thing for your list. So yeah,
Looks like I'm doing okay on power, but you could always use more.
well, that's very, very, very true. Let's see what you
If
got.
I can just find my little builder again. There he is.
He might have died. Okay, you got a lot. You actually have a lot of reactors there from the looks of it.
I mean, more.
More reactors. You got 5 reactors so far. So you got 5 reactors, 5 research facilities or analytic facilities,
It's
1
2
factory,
basic, 2 analytics, and 1 research Mark II.
and you do have a turret there because of the one that I put down.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's like 70,000 refined materials at the installation.
Mm.
So that's been doing its thing. So you might actually behoove yourself, considering how much extra ore there is, to do another refinery, just for like a 2 to 3 kind of ratio, because they don't exactly equal.
Okay, I'll try that in a sec. I'm trying to get another, like, level 3 tech to see what the difference is. But we know the base time for a level 3 tech on a basic research facility is 20 minutes. I want
Right.
to see what it looks like on a research facility too.
Ah.
It's chugging through materials 2 right now, so I'm hoping materials 3 will be similar to electromagnetics and propulsion 3.
So I'm seeing materials 2. You're checking through pretty well.
Okay, where's my materials
done.
3? There it is, way at the bottom. Let me check its number. It is the same value, so it will do it in 10 minutes, literally half the time. Whereas it took
Buddy entered your channel.
the 2 analytics facilities to bring it down to 9 minutes on a regular thing. So those research Mark IIs are very worth.
Now, what happened, Adam? Did you have to build a brand new building, or does it buff it automatically?
I had
What
to
do you
build a
mean?
new building.
Like for what exactly?
Well, he's claiming it being much faster. I didn't think that the research facilities actually sped up. You actually had to upgrade them.
I had
Yeah.
built a new research facility.
Oh, you did build a new research facility.
Yes, I built a research Mark II.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's why I'm
they
not
don't
completing
upgrade
it.
naturally.
All
So
right.
that's why I still have the 2 research Mark I's that I built, and 2 analytics facilities, and a research Mark II.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely got to shrink down some of the names because they're getting cut off. I have to see whether or not it's a limitation of the tech web or a limitation of how this is going. But
I think the current build I'm working on actually did change the names on all the research stuff to make them a little clearer.
okay, maybe I need to update the tech web database. Now that's a possibility. Doesn't like that kind of thing doesn't happen. I believe an ogre joined us. I could be very wrong about that.
He
Am I
did.
fashionably late?
As we knew you would be. The good news is we're about to reset anyway.
Oh, cool.
As much as Jordan is probably going to kill me for that, but we don't have anybody to fight.
Well, it's more also that, like, Melinda's about to start dinner.
Oh, is it getting that late? Yeah, it's
It's
5:25.
5:30.
It is 5:30. Okay.
I'm excited to play with the brand new stuff.
You did, sir. You did. Now, if you know
We
this,
have another half hour.
yeah, no, we can. All right, then should we quit all out, start from the beginning again, and then hopefully we'll have a swarm for everybody to kill?
Yes.
I
As
just
long as-
wonder if at the point that I tried to possess Jordan's ship is when the builder pod actually stopped building as far as it was when I tried to do it.
I mean, it's possible that that's what kind of make it go crazy. I don't really know. I wouldn't think so, but weirder things have happened in this game. Call it what it is.
I'm gonna quit out.
Okay.
I've quit out as well.
Now it's weird. Now, alright, on my system, I'm getting like 60 frames a second. And that's me being a host and compressing and do other wackiness, right?
Hmm.
I'm looking at the stream on my
It's not
laptop.
great.
It's garbage. So I don't know whether or not it's actually recording that way or not. If that's the case, then that's really a problem.
Yeah, you did have this problem last week, so definitely something.
Yeah, it didn't go crazy like this, but maybe I need
This has
full
been
resets.
the worst stream thus far. All the other streams I've been watching them.
I've had some pretty bad streams, but this is yeah.
Okay, but this has been the lowest quality that
Yeah.
I've been around for.
No, you're not wrong.
Like all the other, all the other streams have been as smooth as I was seeing it on my computer.
Right. All right. Let me see if the machine's overloaded.
The machine.
The machine, meaning the one that's actually doing the encoding.
I am the machine.
Oh gods, it is slammed. The GPU and whatever. What the bloody blue blazes is making it that bad? Oh my gods, I think I know what it is. Alright, Chrome's eating a good part of it. But that's part of it. I almost guarantee you I know what's going on. Oh, are you kidding me? Stream, output. Now it's using the newer encoder. I was seeing whether or not if it wasn't using the GPU. Here's the problem. It's using the GPU, but only sparingly. It's using more of the Intel GPU rather than the NVIDIA one to do the encoding. How's that for screwy?
Great.
But it's burying the needle on the CPU, and that doesn't make any sense to me. It's only streaming. So something's going a little bit more wacky than it should. But the CPU on this other machine, which is a fast quad core, all CPUs are pinned. The GPU Intel one's pinned, and GPU 1 is pinned. Now some of it is coming from Twitch. Now maybe that's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't have Twitch open. Hey, it's a Rich. Alright, let's see if I close all this. Whether or not that changes anything. Alright, I'm gonna hopefully if this cuts the stream, tell me. I hope it doesn't.
Okay, keep an eye on it.
I mean if it does, sorry. Okay. Now did the stream get better?
It might take a minute for it to catch up.
Yeah.
The ship is spinning normally, so yeah, it looks nice. The radar is nice and smooth.
It doesn't look like the way on my end just yet.
Fly around a little bit.
Fly around a little bit.
Okay. Okay. That looks a lot better.
Yeah,
That
that
copy.
suddenly got way smoother now.
Going
Not
back to choppy.
Perfect.
It went back to choppy, but hold on, let me see what's going on here. So what happened was, look at that. Now it's getting all smooth again.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, okay, so OBS should be set to go. I have to hard code this so that OBS goes onto the NVIDIA GPU. But now,
It's not as choppy as it was. It's still choppy, but not like it was.
yeah. When I talk, it gets choppy. Yeah, I think
What do you
OBS
stop
needs to
doing?
be set up a little bit differently to go to the GPU full time. Some other things. So there's definitely some OBS tweaking that needs to be done. All right. Now that I know it's here, it's yet one more thing to do. But again, the live stream on the, or not, well, it's going to be the live stream video that's going to be on YouTube will not be like that at all. That should be a lot nicer. So fortunately, I am recording this locally in 4K on my desktop, and the laptop is doing the streaming encoding, even though it's about the same speed of the machine. What had happened was I still had Chrome open in the background so I could see the Twitch interface. And I don't think I did that last time, and I think that's what's causing the problem. So there's the thing. Now, yet again, we learned something new. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to exit out so we have people to kill things. And then we'll start the multiplayer hosting again. I will say this time, Jordan, try building the turrets from the sim screen.
Okay.
And see if that solves your problem. If it does, there's obviously a bug in the nav screen is causing the problem, and I'll
But
have
it
to
pushed
do
you
that
so
offline.
hard to do the nav screen because I hated building turrets from the sim screen.
I'm not debating that at all. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And as far as I was aware, it was working fine. I was able to build buildings all over the place. I just didn't try turrets. And of course, the one thing I didn't try is the one thing that doesn't work.
Right. Well, yeah. It's only turrets.
Yeah, and it's only turrets, which makes
I
absolutely
built
zero
plenty-
sense.
I built plenty of buildings. I tested lots of things. So our two weird bugs right now are
Yeah.
only Arthur can research the research facility Mark II, or at least the main thing. Like the buildings that are unlocked can be researched by anyone.
Yep.
And currently, we can't build turrets from the nav screen. And to try is to court death.
So server's up.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't understand that one at all. There's no reason. All right, yes, turrets do things slightly differently. It might be tied to the same reason why you're having problems with the research. Meaning because it's got to go through all the research to see what you can actually build into the turret as far as weapons go. It will select the best one, and that's what we'll use. That's the only thing that I wouldn't be surprised if it was along the same series of problems. Because it shouldn't be a problem. I think what I should do is play a single player, go through the whole thing, and build turrets and everything else from the nav screen. If I don't have the problem, I'll do it on the multiplayer interface, and have the server do it. And if I still don't have the problem, I'll do it from the client end, and then go from there. And I almost guarantee you it's a sync issue with the technology going across the network. So, that's a thing.
But I am going to say, once again, I highly recommend going through some of the old YouTube videos. You can see for one thing, you can see the hardcore evolution of our display screens here.
Meaning
Yeah,
how bad they
that's
look versus how they look now. Ogre, are you joining us?
That's the plan. Server up.
Server's up, sir. Adam, I don't know if you're joining us or not.
Yep.
All right. Now, this has been, within reason, stable. I mean, in the end, it didn't really eat itself because the server crashed. It just had some twitchiness.
The servers only crashed like once tonight.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then we
It's
were able to
just-
reload it, and
Right.
that was a problem.
We're just finding bugs.
Definitely finding bugs. But that's the point of all this, honestly, is to find the bugs. You know.
That's again, you guys can see you audience can see the progress of it crashing every 5 minutes to this, where there are still game-breaking bugs, but it is stable
Yeah.
until Ernest deletes himself.
Yeah.
And even then, that only affected Ernest.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's just right.
Yes, it did.
Oh, right. I probably changed the site I'm connecting to, don't I?
Yeah, you gotta do add server, and yeah, because the site moved. Sorry. There's a Paul. There's an Adam. But it's nice because I mean we have like what 7 players, and network-wise it doesn't seem to care.
Oh, it totally doesn't care.
You know, I really don't know what the upper limit is. I know minimally should do at least 10. I wouldn't be surprised if it does 30, but I can't guarantee it until we actually really stress this thing to that level. And the big problem I'm having is because of all the debug stuff, it's what's actually slowing the server down, not because of the server code. It's all the debug from the server code, which is because when I removed it, it sped it up so greatly that it was just became hyper smooth. It was like, whoa. So, yeah. But we had to turn on the server debug again because we were trying to track down some issues. That's why it's there. So, yeah. Now, Matt, do we have in the list of stuff that there was problems transferring? I thought that was working. Meaning even after Ernest got back in.
Yeah, I thought that was working too, but I haven't been able to transfer anything successfully. I don't know
Really?
what the deal is.
All right, we're gonna have to try that because I want
We
to
should
make sure.
try it with on our. If we can't get it to work now, we should try it on our own with 4 computers.
Yeah,
Up on
'cause-
Heather's laptop.
Yeah, we tried it earlier with 3 machines that worked fine. So maybe it's because the gaggle's all here. I don't know. Sometimes it comes up that way.
Huh. I didn't realize you could move the box around with the add server.
Yes. Technically, the whole system's supposed to be built that way, but sometimes we turn it on or leave it on, and sometimes we don't. It's one of those things. I'm not sure. Do we even have that in the nav screen these days? Can I move this? Nope. I think it's turned off. Here. You're supposed to be able to move everything around. The problem is that sometimes it plays havoc with things, and it's a matter of like, okay, once you mess up your screen, how do you get it back to normal? That kind of stuff. So sort of like, okay, do we leave it on? Do we leave it off? That was always the big debate.
Flags everywhere.
Excuse me?
I said flags everywhere.
That's true.
Does it matter what we add the server as?
Not real. Well, as game.rankwarmaster.com we'll get to here.
Okay,
So,
that's what I was looking for.
yeah. So I made sure it was defaulted in there. I almost forgot about that, honestly. www will now go to Ernest's server, and that's not going to help you any.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. I showed that at the beginning of the stream, showing that I had to go to a different spot. Not that you would have seen it, but
Does your will your demo have the multiplayer option in it or not?
I actually wanted to ask everybody: should we keep the multiplayer in or no?
I would. That's like one of the main appeals of the game.
I agree.
Seems we've been keep holding our own interest for this long.
Well,
how will their servers run though? Like, do they have to play?
Right.
Like, if one of them hits host on a time when we're trying to stream.
Oops, not crashed. Why did it crash?
Yeah, I just got a crash as well.
Add person building budgets ate itself. Okay, that's very, 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 very strange.
I'm just sitting in the lobby. Did something happen?
Yeah. I tried to start, and it's adding player to corporation.
But what I was trying to say is basically because currently there is only one server and only one game at a time.
So you could add.
You can. That doesn't matter. They just go to a different server. That's no big deal. You can select which server they go to. All right, everybody's gonna have to come back in, by the way, because whatever reason it crashed.
Arthur, I have an idea what it might have been.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest was showing up as, like, we were all alpha, Ernest was showing up as beta. He was Warmaster on that side, but there was only admirals on the alpha side.
Oh, that would do it. That actually would do it.
How did I get the beta?
No idea.
You're special that way.
Yeah.
Someone
I
clicked.
think it's a matter of timing. If two people click,
No,
if
it's
it
just
close
I did.
enough time.
My machine knows I don't want to play friendly with Jordan. That's all it was.
You're not wrong. So, all right. So server's back up again, by the way. But yeah. All right.
I mean, if you can put a multiplayer in and have them put together their own servers and whatnot, then sure.
Yeah, they can. They just have to know each other's IP address or DNS name, which ends up being about the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get with IP chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's fine, and
Then
it shows you what the port is. You just make sure it does use TCP.
I would definitely leave that in if you can leave it in.
I can leave it in. The question is, do I nerf it? I mean, it is a demo. There's always that balance you have to strike between, okay, you want to show that this is viable versus, giving away the game, and so it goes, well, why should anybody be interested in the crowdfunding and they're paying for it or anything else like that?
Maybe just give them the multiplayer of the flight sim that we were doing before we started doing the RTS.
Okay.
Where they can spawn a bunch of fleets in or play capture the flag. Or, fight with cap ships or spawn a bunch of AI in or whatever.
Oh, that makes sense. I can turn those off. I mean, the scenario that we're running, for example.
Right, and that's, because that's most stable.
It is. Obviously, the planetary stuff is most interesting, but, cap versus fighters, King of the Hill, capture the flag, that kind of thing. Make sure that's all the fleet stuff. That's interesting.
I don't know if we ever had this, but give them the option to have a few enemy AI spawn in that they can fight with their buddy or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. All the AI stuff is this. I don't think did we ever have any fleet AI stuff?
I mean, I don't remember.
I don't remember you doing anything with AIs and fleets other than the ships that we were.
Other than capture the flag, maybe. That's about as far as I think we went with that.
I don't know.
Adam and Paul and whoever else. Matt, are you coming in?
One second, I tried to connect and okay, there we are.
I mean, if that's much of a pain, then even still, there's just go squadron against squadron. Even if there's only 2 people, that can be fun.
Well, that would be fleets, and that's there.
Yeah.
But the AI
just
stuff isn't.
even with if they have just 2 people doing fleets against fleets, that's still fun. That's a full test.
Yeah.
That's a full demo of the possession system, of the fleet command system, of all
That's
the things
true,
that make it
but they
cool.
don't know what the controls are for that.
Well, you're gonna have to include in instructions.
Well, see, now we're adding more stuff in. So tell you what we're gonna do. We'll because we want to get it out tonight or tomorrow morning. We'll send it out as is. The instructions will be oncoming, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Because it really was only meant to go through the flight sim tutorial, which will tell you how to fly your ship, and then it was meant that you go into single player and play it that way. All the multiplayer stuff and everything else won't necessarily be turned off, but the city building and such like that won't exactly be turned on either, because you can't, unless you have a builder bot and you're on the planet, it's not going to help you very much.
I mean, also they have the ability to look at our old live streams and gain the instructions
That's
for
what I
how
was
to
about
play.
to say. So I was about to say the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, so everybody in?
I'm in.
All right, hopefully I didn't mess myself up, but let's see what happens. All right, we're in. Okay. So, yeah. So my lasers work, everything else is cool. Okay, well, now let's see about getting stuff accomplished. Like I said, I'm getting like a full, frame rate over here. So I don't know why, this thing's having problems. So Jordan,
Sure,
you ready to start building stuff?
I am.
I noticed that
I'm starting.
the builder bot was like right next, or you went up to the builder bot.
I found that it's a little bit of the bottom of the nav screen can sometimes be a bit of a pain to get to while everything's up high. So I tend to send the builder bot down first manually, and then I'm gonna dive into the nav screen in a minute.
Okay. You can use the QE keys to go up and down, by the way.
Oh, okay then.
Seriously. So maybe I should demo that again.
And now I know.
All right, so let me go into the nav screen. And so what Jordan was talking about is we start right here, where we can see ourselves. We're way up high, which is fine. And the ground is way down there. The problem is that telling the builder bot to build something can be kind of problematic to get to the ground. So if we use the Q and E keys, if you notice, I'm going down. And I'm going down and down and down towards the surface. And I should probably move my guy over that way. So I'll double click on self because he's obviously going down. And so what's interesting, you actually can follow where your guy's going. If you want to, you can even zoom in and zoom out. So I can watch my guy trying to eat the ground because he's being dumb. He's still trying to desperately go below the ground, which is not helping. You can see him skipping. Whee. Alright, let's see if I can do this here.
The heartbeat.
Yeah, he's being an idiot.
Beep, beep.
So let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, my guy's having its own conniption, evidently. So meanwhile, Jordan's off doing his thing.
As Jordans do.
As Jordans do. So I'm going to do self, and then I am going to click there, and hopefully it'll be smart enough to actually go over there. Which probably isn't. I gotta fix that equation, plain and simple, because it's being stupid. So now it acknowledges the move the position, but it really doesn't know where it's going. Wow, the enemy AI really already has kind of a quasi-city going already.
It already has a what now?
A city.
Yeah, it does that pretty quickly.
Yeah, it does do that.
So do I.
Not in the same scale yet. I don't even see what you have on the screen.
No, that's definitely got Jordan beat right now.
Alright, well, it's turning around. The problem is that the position that things I'm clicking on is well below the terrain, and that was always kind of the problem. So. I should get out of this so I'm not being stupid here. I know, too late. Summon one of the glitch points within the damn terrain. It's like, yay. Pardon me while I fly through your city. Whee!
Alright, that's definitely not the location I clicked on, but sure.
No, you're not wrong. There's a glitch with the damn terrain, and I know that. That's why I wanted to fix this past 2 weeks, and as I mentioned, I had other things. Now it's building a refinery, so it's got a reactor. It has a warehouse. It doesn't have a mine yet. That's why we haven't been overrun. As soon as it gets the hat trick, we're
Well,
kind of
if
dead.
it's just building a refinery, so am I. Although I'm gonna have to mine some resources, but I have 2, researchers and 2 reactors.
Now, one of the bugs I did see in the system is that when buildings get destroyed, it doesn't acknowledge that it gets destroyed. Meaning, in the thing that's mapping the city being built, that's what's causing the problem. So the counter doesn't go down, so it still thinks it's okay. So that's the thing. So I know I have to patch that. Now it's sitting here waiting for its research to give it something else to build. Because it randomly decides to select what it wants to build. Ideally, when we update the AI, it will be a lot smarter about it. Instead of, for example, building the refinery before the mine, for example.
It definitely built a different ship than it used to build, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, that's no doubt.
Oh, never mind. I'm targeting the wrong shit. Look at the wrong window.
Okay then.
Wrong window.
Well, you're just monitoring things over there?
Yes.
Okay,
What's
well,
our forecast, Ogre?
Well, let's see. We've got we've got a high likelihood of you're going to be sending a swarm of ships soon.
well, it still hasn't got his mine out, so I don't know what's waiting for.
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm going based on how it normally shows up. We've got the research center, the reactor. I think that's the factory.
Yep.
And then
Oh,
the
there it
refinery,
goes.
you said, right?
Somebody up my budget, maybe that might also be part of it.
Oh,
I gave you 93% of the income.
Oh, okay then. Just taking time. It's getting that refinery up first. The way I start is a bit of a challenge.
well,
but
there's more people here at this point.
Usually, once I get the refinery up, then we start chugging along more smoothly.
I don't see the refinery. Oh, that's all going to you. Never mind. Yeah, because like the rest of us. See, here's the problem. Well, no, even you have ore. Are you underpowered? Is that what your problem is? No, you got power.
The bot is trying to refine it itself.
Oh, that would do it. That would do it.
I ran out of resources. Is what happened.
Yep.
Hey, is the budget not supposed to auto balance among all the people? Or am I just not looking at it correctly?
Well, what happens is this: you have a here. I'll demonstrate that on the system here. What you have is the budgets, and you see how it says it's percentage first, which we should put that percentage sign in there so we know that. So you might want to make a note of that, Matt. But in parentheses, it has a arbitrary value. And so that things aren't so ridiculous, if wherever you set that value to. So if you set that value to 100 on everybody has equal distribution because everybody's value is still 100. So it's an
It is
arbitrary
a
value.
refinery.
If you look at Jordan, for example, he's set at 93, so he's actually getting 23.7%, where everybody else is getting 12.7%.
Yeah, well, last time I did this, it actually balanced it and went out to 1%. I don't get what's changed.
No, it never balanced in the 1%. That never happened. And now we're definitely getting resources in. Look at that.
I can't go above 100.
You can't go above 100, but you have to lower everybody else down.
Yeah, I thought there's a point I thought it did it itself. I guess I was just dreaming that point.
Yeah. Maybe removing a decimal point. But I mean, he's still getting twice as much as the rest of us are. So if you move, say, I don't know, myself down, let's say.
I'm taking Ogre out of here. Ogre can't have any money.
Uh-huh.
All it does is destroy things with
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm supposed to do. Oh.
it.
So as you...
But father, that is what you created me to do.
Mhm. But see how his percentage keeps on going down as you lower that?
Yeah.
And then when you go all the way down, he's always going to have something, probably.
I'll give him 1%.
Now you have 1%, don't you feel special, Ogre?
Yay.
Yeah. And now
Funny,
you're...
but Jordan, when I clicked on Jordan, Jordan just dropped all the way down to what I said Ogre to.
Probably because you use the same control, so there's another one for you, Matt, to redo the control to what the current value is versus what was last set at. You know what I mean?
Didn't we want a rebalance budget button anyway?
Yeah, I'd like to see. I thought that's what would happen when you scroll one thing. I would think it would adjust everyone else simultaneously.
It does. Well, it rebalances based on that larger value. What I was saying more than Matt was that according to what Ernest just said, when he clicked on a different person, the value of the gauge was whatever he had last set at versus what he was actually who he was talking to. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll check it. That shouldn't be.
Yeah. So now I have very little more that's coming in, for example.
Waiting for this builder to build a second refinery.
I presume it's still hovering and eating everything from the refinery?
Yep.
Okay, that's what's going on. So literally, you're getting first dibs, and there's not enough percentage-wise past that for anybody else to get anything.
That's why I know we have a lot of ore right now, so I'm trying to get a second refinery and then a factory.
Yes.
Then it will be time to kill.
Speaking of which, let me come out of here. No one's killed me yet, but they have. Well, Ogre, it looks like you have your new best friend. He built a turret, and he's very much paying attention to you. Because I'm sneaking up behind him and he doesn't see me. I really have to tell it. So that's the whole thing. Do you retarget? Oh, it saw me. It's seeing me. It's seeing me. All right, run away, run away, run away, run away. See, I just thought I was going to sneak up on it and it wouldn't pay. And then it started turning around looking at me. He's like, whoops, nope, no, 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 no. Power nope right there.
Right?
It's looking at me. All right, let's see if I can do a drive-by. Is it beam-based or is it pulse-based?
I'll fly on by and see if I can't render assistance.
Well, he's not paying attention to me right now.
A factory has been ordered.
Excellent. I wonder what triggered it to change targets. Maybe I got too close.
I was also doing a flyby. Well, not the first time, but
Well, are you doing the flyby now?
yes.
Alright, then it's still tracking me. Shit, no, it shot me. Alright.
There's actually 2 turrets, so.
Uh-huh. Alright, so ow. So I don't know how bad it got me, but we'll see. So it looks like it's mining out, I suppose, either another turret or a... So what are you shooting at?
I'm making passes at it too.
Factory's up.
All right. So anybody want to actually do a design? Oh no, it's actually fun to do a miner. Who's shooting at me? Ow.
Probably the turret.
Now, somehow or another, I guess, probably when I post this, I'll have to put the Game Jolt page up there. All right, what happened?
Arthur, when you have 2 seconds, would you research the research facilities too?
Sure. Well, someone just popped something.
I just blew up, I think, either a turret or boxes that were next to turrets.
I
The
think I
turret.
blew up the boxes.
Ah.
All right, so, and now you blew up the turret itself.
Now 2 turrets dead. Excellent.
Yes. Tool turrets. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so you need me to do the researching. Research facilities. That's 2.5 minutes. All right. Do I need to do mines too? That's good enough.
I just need you to research the one that I can't research.
All right, fair enough. Then I did so. You should see it on your screen. So it's putting down yet another turret to replace the one you popped, by the way. And it's almost done, so if you're within range, you're going to get shot at.
There it is.
There is a factory, by the way.
All right, so who's doing the design, or am I doing that again?
Go ahead and do it. So I'm not sure how to do it. I was going to watch your screen so I can get an idea.
All right, I'm just going to kind of, cheese out and just do a quick build, and then I'll do something a little more interesting. So, I guess it's just saved.
I'm waiting for this build about to produce another reactor.
Yeah. All right. So design. We'll do a nice happy red ship. Because he's cool. She's cool looking. That kind of thing. All right. You can stop spinning it now. All right. I'm just gonna do a quick build. So I'm gonna go to here. I want to do that. I want to do that. I'll make sure that this is what I think it is. All right. I want a beam. And I think that's about it. So all the build.
Just took out the other turret.
All right. Hopefully this will not crash. We'll find out. Ah. Saved. I'm out. Okay. I don't know how good this thing is. Let's see if I can build one. Yep. It might be really slow. It might not be. Let's see what the spec is. Mass, firepower, speed 272, acceleration 181. Ooh. Why does it say jump drive 625? Do we want jump drives? Do we?
Not
I mean,
yet.
Technically, we do. They don't really do anything, but they're in there.
Okay. I was wondering why it came back as jump drive 625. Why would they even say that?
I have no idea. They're just a miscellaneous thing that has like basically nothing in there besides hit points.
Yeah. So we have the engine, we have solar fuel, and we have cockpit. There's nothing saying anything about it. It's like, okay. Power in 12, power out 375. That might be really bad to fly this, but we'll see what happens. All right. Okay. So that's the first thing. All right. So we should actually have it. H. No. Let's go through the ones that are here. Oh, there it is. So let's go to this fly. P. Okay. It's not too great, not too bad. The weapons definitely need a recharge. It's got 5 beam cannons doing its thing. I don't know if you consider this an upgrade or not, but it's here.
Well, we'll see what happens with this ship. Then go to that one.
Alright, let's see if I can get over here. So what the hell is this over here? Oh, that's just you doing your thing. So it's got 5 beam cannons like all in its front, so it definitely has some lot of drill power going on. So I wonder how this looks from the nav screen. Alright. Performance-wise, it's not too bad. You know. I don't think it's as good as what you're piloting, but I think it has more firepower. I could be wrong about that. Okay, so if I go to the nav screen, and I double click on itself, and I zoom in, alright. It's tiny. We still have the tiny problem. That's really tiny. Yeah, we gotta fix that. That should not be tiny like that. It's so tiny, it actually goes below the minimum. Wow, look at that. It might as well be a gnat. That's all right. Yeah, I gotta fix that. That's just no. That's power word. Nope. Okay. So ogre, I'm gonna do a flyby on you. How small am I? Let's see if I can bring ogre up. That's me. There's ogre.
Which way are you approaching from?
From your back right, if you care. So how tiny am I?
Come
I'm
closer.
right on top of you, man.
Oh.
I'm about to
then,
crash
wow.
into you.
Yeah, you're actually up close. You're not too bad, but
All right, I'm like literally crashing into you now.
oh no, I know. It's like you're not. It's not terrible. I don't know how big it's supposed to be, but yeah, you're actually like you're bigger than the little like U ships that the AI likes to use.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're literally filling up my screen right now. If you look at the live stream.
You're let's see. You're maybe 4 or 5 inches across and 2 inches tall. If that.
So I am a itty bitty little thing.
Yes.
Oh, they have a factory up. That's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I've been sitting here watching.
Yeah, expect things incoming soon. Because if they have all that, then it's only a matter of time before that's going to do some wackiness. So how long have they had the factory up?
They just
it
finished
still it still looks to me like they're building
Oh,
it.
yeah,
but
they're already
yeah.
building it.
Okay, so it's like hyper fresh then. I was wondering why we weren't getting overrun, because usually once that's up, that's it.
Yeah, it still shows the Boulderbot animation on mine.
Okay, it shouldn't, but mine's done. Oh. Well, there's an advantage of being so small, it's hard to hit. Disadvantage is, well, yeah. Means there's a significant bug in the shipbuilder system, which I'm not happy about then. Alright, so how big am I? So if we go to the factory screen, this thing's all bouncing back and forth. Supposedly, I am mass 163. What's carcass space, hangar space? We don't have a space parameter, really? In the readout? We have everything but. Oh my, fine.
Yeah, once we shift over to the basically, space equals basically the size, the power that your ship, the ship class, that'll be important.
Well, because I mean, space tells me how big this thing's really supposed to be, and right now it doesn't, and so that's a problem. So it's one more thing, I guess, for the factory screen is make sure we can add one line for how much space a certain ship is taking up, because that's the thing.
Well, fun fact, we'll have access to jump drives soon.
Okay, they don't do anything in the game yet.
I know.
They're supposed to let you get the other planets, but we haven't gotten that far yet.
Haven't made them.
Technically, you should be able to use that onto the same planet, so you can get to the other side of it pretty quickly. That's what the initial drives are, those kind of drives are meant to do, is so you can go to the other side of the planet, because it's all real size.
Or Propulsion 3 will be done in 10 minutes.
Hey Arthur.
Yeah.
Did you want to try create AI and then join? I know you were talking about the very beginning.
What, for extra people, you mean? We didn't get a chance to code that in. Like I said, we were.
I remember at the beginning of the stream. I just don't remember if you would. It seemed to got cut off from what you were saying. So you didn't finish it.
The stream is ultra chop right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So as much as we may be having fun, it may be just about time to wrap up.
To me, it appears as if it's still attempting to build the factory and not seeing the factory producing any ships yet.
It's still on that factory.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. It's still showing that for me too.
For me, and on the server, it's just sort of kind of sitting there.
What I'm also noticing is that is this like supposed to be this way when I hit T and H to cycle through hostiles and friendlies? It seems to all just collate them all to one list.
Well, no, because that's not what T and H does.
Oh, I'm sorry.
T targets the nearest enemy. H targets the nearest friendly that's still healthy.
Okay, so it's not like they're separate lists.
No, not at all. It's just saying who's the nearest of each type. The idea was originally when you did H, you could then possess it, but then we decided to come up with very specific other commands that went straight in that not only did it target the nearest one, but instantly possessed it and you took it over. So I think whatever's going on, probably either from blowing up the other stuff, because that's the main thing difference. I see you guys are still blowing stuff up already. That it's not going to do anything. So I guess you took out the factory?
I just did, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, then it ends the game, Paul.
Oh.
I mean, that's why I didn't want you to touch anything. So there you go. So now we got to start all over again or something else like that.
It wasn't really doing anything anyway. I think it was kind of stuck.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, to the point about it still being built or looking like it.
Yeah.
The builder bot's still there building nothing.
Yeah,
now.
it's still
Yeah,
just
no, I
doing
know.
the builder beam.
Well, on my end, it's not doing that, but it is
The
what it
builder
is.
beam.
Yes.
That sounds like a really strange final attack.
Yeah, something like that.
Behold, the builder beam! What does it do? It makes burritos.
Something like that. So we have a choice. We can start all over again, or we can... Wow, the whole stream is just like frozen.
It is, yes.
Why is that so bad?
Hi, Adam.
Hello.
You're mad at me.
Like, at this point, it may not be just keep going if nobody can follow along.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Alright, might as well take out their city and be done with it. I ain't even itching to do it. Like I said, try not to do anything to them, Paul.
Okay, then.
At all. Because obviously there's something going on. So no blowing up boxes, no blowing up turrets, no doing anything until they start spewing fighters. How's that?
I will make a note of this, yes.
Alright,
Yeah,
until the
yeah,
AI... I can replace the AI. Because I'm trying to replace the AI anyway. But I just haven't had a chance to do that one. So there's obviously it's glitching for whatever the reason. The new AI would reassess what the current situation is and then do things appropriately. It wouldn't just sort of sit there going derp. The problem is the current AI is a state machine, and once the state gets kind of screwed, then that's kind of it. My beams went, but I can see me shooting, and I can see it doing whatever.
Okay, so the research center
But yeah.
takes a lot of energy. The reactors take almost none.
There you go. I got through. There we go.
Reactors take almost no what.
Damage to blow up.
Right.
I mean, they all the buildings aside from the turrets have the same health, so.
That doesn't seem likely, or there's something weird with it because
The reactor has lots of very small components, so there's lots of tiny polygons that probably have very low armor values.
Yeah, that's probably
that,
true.
that yeah, it was almost like marching past the reactors blew them up, but
Well, we shouldn't be able to just sit here and hit the same small triangle and get through it. That's the point. So honestly, that might be a thing. The building should be hard to kill, so we might want to change the hit points of the reactors to be higher. To be honest.
Okay.
If we use this model, which we are, that's the situation. It's unfortunate, but
it's also going to depend on what we're testing, because I don't think most people are going to sit here and just go, pick a spot, and blow through it.
right.
And keep in mind though that basically like if you're being opposed by the enemy, just being able to sit there and hit the same spot is going to be the luxury you probably won't have if you're actually in the play.
Well, I agree with you. My concern is that if, as Ogre said, you can just do kind of a brush by, especially in the antenna, for example, it's basically weak.
Yes, it was quite a brush by, but it was very little effort to do.
Yeah. So we might want to up the reactor's hit points regardless. It's a practicality versus anything else.
Also, reactors are like half as cheap as all the rest of the buildings too, so theoretically you can have more of them as backups.
True, but right now the guy's not that smart with that kind of thing yet.
Well, yeah.
Alright, so that's it. The enemy's completely gone, and yeah, I'm flying with one of our build ships, that kind of thing. Well, and again, we didn't do a whole swarm thing unless we're going to go out and have it do it again. It's up to you, but it's getting late. It's up to you.
I gotta go get dinner.
Right. So the good news is that building cities has become more of a thing.
Yeah.
We discovered that there are some issues with the research.
I mean, for reference to the past, I used to get like one of each of like the base buildings down, and then it would just be all turrets. Now I actually have cause to build 5 different research buildings, and now just told to build a 6th.
Yeah.
You know, and I am burning through the research a lot faster. We are about 2 minutes away from having access to the jump drives that don't do anything yet, which is a milestone for us. We never got there before.
Yes. Oh, most
We
certainly.
never got Propulsion 3 before, and there was no way we ever would have, because the basic Propulsion 3 takes 20 minutes in the basic reactor, basic research center. And that's just not happening.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I was blowing up the boxes that are on the ground there.
What's escape velocity from Mars?
You'll achieve it.
Crossing.
No doubt about that.
I'm over 9,000 already.
Oh, I've
10. 11.
now I just saw you trying to build a building, but I don't see anything here.
Really? Because I see it. It's another analytics building.
Yeah, it didn't show up for me.
Strange.
It is. I don't know why it would glitch out now, but it's definitely wanting us to glitch. Maybe because I blew up the boxes?
Who knows?
Maybe that has to do with it. That would actually make a certain level of sense. You know how everybody was blowing up boxes and turrets and things of that nature? Maybe the chain is all screwed up. That would make a certain level of sense, I hate to say it. Meaning at least it's something to investigate as a test. So that, okay, let's build a couple buildings, have someone blow up one of them, try to build another one. Is it the problem?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I said, it's all about scenarios we can come up with. It's like, okay, what's going to break it? If that's actually what's breaking it, then I know what to do in the in-between to kind of try to patch that kind of stuff up. Is the point. So, all right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. So Jordan, as much as I didn't get as much of the things in there as I wanted to, as far as stabilizing the nav screen and such, did you like at least some of the few things that I did put in there?
I mean, I spent almost, except for when I need to build turrets, the entirety of this last session in the nav screen. You know, pretty much, and also 5 seconds on Propulsion 3.
Yes. Yes.
It's a milestone that I want.
All right.
And we got it.
Yeah,
Do I
no,
have
that's
to go
good.
and research the jump drives? Do we just have them?
It's whatever. Now, here's my question though. What other suggestions do you have other than make sure, obviously, when you click on the ground, it actually is right where you think it is? Kind of improvements do you
I
think
would
to the
like
interface?
to, from the nav screen, know who owns whatever ship I'm looking at.
Okay. Do you want to have it travel with it, or have it as you select on the right, which is probably easier?
What do you mean?
Well, you want to know whoever owns what. Do you want to do that as you move your mouse over things, or when you
Yeah,
select
as I move
something?
mouse over things, when it shows up on the top right, I want at least something like some information about the ship so that I can troll Ernest a little more.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
See, now
That
I'm
said,
seeing it building
I
this
could-
building. So it's not a glitch. I'm seeing it build in mine now.
Huh. You're just not seeing the other one then.
It maybe was below the threshold. You know how there's that little weird gap between things. I wouldn't be surprised if it was below things. Weirder things have happened. If I go to the nav screen, I should be able to see it. Let me check that way. All right, now it crashed. So that's the end of that.
Well, okay.
So
then.
what was everybody doing?
I was flying to space, basically.
I was,
You did it.
destroying-
But
It says move location. Who is the location? Parent. Let's see.
I'm over 2 million meters from Adam.
2 million. Oh yeah, you definitely went to the next sector.
But yeah, the thought occurred to me at some point to send my ship to blow up Ernest just for fun.
Yeah.
But I can't pick him out amongst the screen.
Yeah, no, it's hard to find.
Yeah, that definitely will have to change
You didn't
that.
see me parked right in front of you most of the game, did you, Jordan?
I wasn't in the sim screen.
I know. I was so tempted to just hit the fire button a couple times.
And the funny thing is, you could have blown him up, and he wouldn't have noticed.
Yep.
That's the
I wouldn't
reality
have
of it.
noticed until I tried to go and build a turret.
Yeah. So for today, the longest we played was about 40 minutes.
Nice.
Because the saves is every 2 minutes, and we're up to save 22. So do the math on that one.
Nice.
For the other save. So I mean, like I said, it's working. You're seeing it's working. There are glitches now. We know about them. That's the point of the multiplayer test. We don't know what the glitches are.
But
Now
the
we
difference is
do.
our game-breaking bug is this thing doesn't work, not this thing crashes the system.
Yeah, I mean there is some minor stupidity, and we'll stomp them out as we get to them. Some things are like, okay, you're clicking the wrong spot, and it goes off half, whatever, and that's a problem. Certain things are going to take me longer to fix than others just because of different things. But yeah. Now the good news, as I said, we now have a demo coming out, which is at this point, yes, I guess I'll keep the multiplayer in. I don't have the docs for that ready because we don't have the setup for that. But that means the fleet stuff is there. That means the other stuff is there. We'll have to probably test the capture the flag stuff, especially capture the flagship, to make sure that's okay, since we're having slight glitches with that. And definitely kind of use at your own
Only
risk
now
kind of
does
thing.
it occur to me that maybe we should have added something into the multiplayer, to the tutorial that I wrote dialogue for, about fleet control, because that wasn't a thing, I think, when it was first written.
It wasn't. Now it really is a fleet thing.
Only now does it occur to me, like, oh wait, that's part of the sim screen.
Yeah.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
In
You're not wrong.
retrospect, I ask, why? I'll write something.
Yeah, you'll write something out. And like I said, I look forward to it. I think it'll be good. And like I said, the release that's going to happen in the next 24 hours isn't like that's the only release. It's finalized. No, we're going to have the publicly available demo that will keep upgrading, and we'll have the what we show on the live stream, which is going to have more features on it. There's always that balance of what do you give for free and what do you keep behind closed doors, so to speak, more privately. We need these multiplayer tests, or else the game will not mature properly.
Right.
But by the same token, people have to realize, hey, no, this thing is real. It is running. Whether or not you have full access as, downloading a free demo is something else again. But, crowdfunding is coming soon. It's coming at the, mid-September. And, there's nothing saying that, just like in other games, you donate to the cause, so to speak, and you get the current alpha build, which is what we're playing on, obviously.
But I think tomorrow I will add in an extra segment to the flight sim tutorial for, okay, now let's have a bunch of fighters and here's how you command them.
Probably it's not a bad idea. That means you need a fleet and they need a fleet.
We can add it in with the segment where you're in the cap ship and the enemy gets a bunch of fighters, and then like after you blow up the frigate, or just before you blow up the frigate, we can give you a cap ship and then give you a bunch of fighters, and you can sec the fighters on the enemy cap ship, on the enemy frigate, while you're in the cap ship.
That's a possibility.
It can't be too hard. I think you'll like how I rewrote that segment. Instead, the frigate was a glitch. It wasn't supposed to happen.
Okay.
It just goes glitch, spawn frigate, and it's like, well, that's not fair. And so the cap ship is the AI spawns in the cap ship, because if we're throwing out the rules, we may as well have fun with it.
True. So, I hope people enjoyed today. I will try to figure out what's going on with the AI, but I do want to replace the AI anyway. I know there were some issues with it, obviously. So yeah, we'll see where that ends up. But again, I appreciate everybody showing up. Does anybody else have any suggestions or comments or anything else that they want to throw in before we end tonight?
Just one thing on the asset menu. When you're adjusting the percentage, it should be else, because how can you have Jordan had 93% and everyone else had 50%?
All right, no, that's not a percentage, as I said. It's it's meant to be a generic value. The idea is everybody starts at 50, but that does not mean everybody has 50%. Everybody has, if there's 7 people, let's say there's 10 people to make this easier, and everybody's at 50, that means everybody's getting 10% because everybody has equal portions. So that's what it really means. It's portions, not percentage. You play with the portions and it ends up being a percentage because it has both numbers there, but you're really only allocating the portions up and down. Now maybe it makes sense to have a button on the asset screen say minimize all portions except the Warmaster, let's say. Call it kill all budgets or something goofy like that. And so it puts everybody's portion down to a base minimum. So actually, that might not be a bad idea, Matt.
Or maybe a button on each person that says allocate all resources. And so clicking on that person, it turns that person all the way up and everybody else to the bottom.
All right, well, that might be a thing.
Yeah, that's because I expect when I drag that slider that I'm adjusting everyone programmatically, in one person.
Well, no, it just readjusts it.
It will take whatever adjustment you make and then apply that across the board.
But it doesn't change their portions. It only changes the portions of what you do. But everybody's percentage does go across the board, yes.
I gotta duck out at this point, guys.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
See you later, Paul.
I think I see what Ernest is saying. Like, I kind of understand what you're saying, Arthur, but it's not
User disconnected from your
intuitive
channel.
the way you're describing it.
All right, could you repeat that because it talked over it.
I understand what you're describing, but it's not intuitive. Somebody who doesn't have you sitting here explaining to them is gonna have a hard time understanding what these numbers mean.
I understand.
It's-
One of the suggestions I was saying to Matt is right now we have a number in parentheses another number. We need to make the first number actually put the percent sign there, so we can definitively say this number is the percent. Because that's also what's throwing off Ernest, because he thinks the one in parentheses is the percent and it's not.
Yeah, I think that is what's throwing me off. I'm getting. That's what I thought it was. So, yeah.
And so that's part of it. But I do agree that there should be a button that goes everyone at one portion and everyone at 50 portions. That way you can reset it to what it is when you first start the game, which is the 50 portion. And everybody at one portion means everybody still keeps the same percentage, but then Ernest can go, okay, nothing's changed yet. Everybody's down at one portions now, but now I want to go to Jordan and throw it all the way to 100. At that point, everybody's getting unbelievably base minimum, and Jordan isn't. If you know what I mean. Another potential possibility is have perhaps an all budget button, in which case then when that slider comes up, it's actually controlling everybody's portion simultaneously, which gives, so maybe you don't want it all the way down to 1, maybe you want it at 25, let's say, and so now you're assigning everybody's portion, and then the Warmaster can then readjust as he sees fit. So maybe we don't have an everybody down to 1, we say, okay, an everybody button, if you know what I mean, is an idea.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I would think by adjusting the slider, if I want to give Jordan more than, I would think that there's a pool. Everyone gets a percentage of that pool, and as you adjust one slider, everyone else's pool increases while the one person you're adjusting.
There's
what I expect to happen when I do that.
There's another There's another possibility, which will make it a little bit more complicated, but it's still doable. Instead of creating separate buttons, you know how you get up to 0 and 100, Matt?
Mhm.
What happens if we set it from, let's say, negative 100 to 200? Anything above the 100 mark that it tries to go to, not only will it pull it back down to 100, but it will subtract that across the board from everybody else until they're at their base minimum of 0. Does that make sense? So what Ernest wants is, he wants it so that when it goes up to 100 on Jordan, if he keeps pushing it to go past that 100 point, it will start draining from everybody else equally.
Yeah, that'll be a good function then.
And then if everybody's down to absolute base minimum, then you arbitrarily set the arbitrary max at 100, so he can't go any further anyway. But then with the extra 200, lets him throw it up higher, and it keeps resetting him back down to 100 because that's still the max. But it uses that extra bit to suck from everybody else. And that might be more intuitive a way of doing it. That way is also if he does negative on somebody, I'm not sure if it would make a difference. I mean, if you're doing negative on somebody, you're giving everything he possibly has to somebody else. I'm not sure if you would push it the opposite way. Would that make sense?
It would
guess
just
you could
rebalance,
push-
It would just rebalance everyone else upwards.
Yeah, I guess we would rebalance everybody upwards. So I guess you could do the same functionality
So
realistically.
you go negative and like you go negative 50, and all of a sudden half of what they had gets pushed out to everyone else.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't even be past what they had because it would just be, this would still be the portion issue. So the portions are what's shifting, not anything else.
What I mean is, like, if you're doing it on like negative 100 to 100 200.
Yeah.
If you're going, better if you do 100 to plus 100 minus 100, or 200. I think it would be. I think I get what you're saying. Anyway, I'm rambling. But
That's fine.
if you go all the way to negative 100, you're saying give all of this person's resources to everybody else.
The portions, not necessarily their resources. You still have to manually say, I want to strip them of that.
Yeah.
This is just a percentage of what's coming out of the system. I think that would work. I think what should be done probably, because of the way the gauges work, is if you can get it all the way down to 0. So it's 0 to 100, and it stays that way. If you throw the gauge from one direction to the other, it will hit the maximum or the minimum depending which way you threw it. Once you're at the maximum or minimum, it will then expand that minimum or maximum depending which end you're on, and then we'll pay attention to doing that plus number or minus number, as the case may be. That way, otherwise, if you were trying to get Jordan up to a certain point, but you didn't want to start stripping other people, you would easily accidentally do it.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Like I see what you're doing now is that each slider is controllable by each person, but
Right.
I do like the global. I think that's the easiest way of doing it. Is once he gets to 100 and you continue driving it, everyone else loses
Yeah.
or loses. Yeah, that's more intuitive than.
So what will happen is you'll throw it up to 100, the velocity stops. So even if it had a velocity to it, it will stop at 100. And the velocity will stop. It will think that's the limit. It's not. You go again and you throw it again. And it goes, okay, you want to drain everybody, but it prevents you from accidentally draining everybody. You have to make a conscious decision. I'm going to throw it again.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a lot better than a bunch of buttons. Plus, then you don't have to make screen real estate.
Right. And I think in the end that doesn't require much other coding other than, meaning screen real estate stuff doesn't need to be changed. It's just sort of some internals, and that shouldn't be too bad to do. And maybe we can expand one of the other functions that's currently auto distributes everything to handle when things go below or above 100 to again do that rebalance. I think that would be hard to do. So that's the thing. All right. Any other suggestions? Since I think that's kind of been worked out.
That's it for me tonight.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Jordan seems like I have fun. I'm sorry, Ogre, you didn't get a chance to play that much for killing things.
Sorry.
I was hoping the last battle you'd be able to do it. So they were swarming earlier.
Yeah, they were quite a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know what changed. I guess the issue is just leave everything alone on their base and let them do their thing until they're finally starting to swarm. I would like to probably, maybe I should have more of a dump out of what the AI is thinking to figure out what it's trying to do and why it's not doing it. Because it should be doing it. Maybe the building never got completely built. That's a possibility. Again, there we go. We'll see how this works out, but that seems to be what's going on. All right. Again, thank you very much. I'm sorry that the live stream got a little wonky. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because of the OBS. I mean, I'm even looking at now. It's still using a large amount of the GPU, and it shouldn't.
I had that happen earlier in one of your streams, and I forget what you did to fix it.
Well, the problem is that because it's using NDI, and because I already had Google up, it probably thought it was doing the better thing by trying to split between the two GPUs in the laptop. And it isn't. It's using the Intel GPU far harder than it should. And it's not for encoding per se. The GPU is at like 40% right now. It's not even being taxed. And it's doing the encoding, which means it could also be doing the main screen, which means the Intel chip wouldn't be doing as much to try to keep up. So I think that's kind of what happened. So I need to tell the system that, hey, when OBS comes up, no matter what, assign it to the GPU. Because I must guarantee you, if I look in the system right now, and the laptop is going to tell me it's not using it. Now it's saying OBS is using it. So.
All right, I gotta go get dinner. So.
Yeah, go get dinner.
Have a
I
night,
apologize.
everybody. I'll see you later tonight.
Good night.
Later.
Thank you all. I might as well close down the stream so that people aren't doing silly things. All right, but
User
thank you
disconnected from your channel.
very much from your for your patronage and everything else. Again, live crowdfunding is coming soon. Please follow us on YouTube and Twitch, of course. And we have lots of different social media that you'll see where that is. And we are doing a public release in the next 24 hours. That won't be the full game what you see here, but will be the flight sim parts, if you will, and hopefully the multiplayer. And I hope to see you all later. So, have a good night. I'm stopping the stream. All right, stream is stopped.